Hello everybody, it is your friend and leader with Lifepro, Amber Kivett. I am here in the role. That means you don't get to see this very often with me. But I am very excited to share with you our newest product that is going to be coming out, launching on January the 6th is when it's going to be shipping out to a very few of you, because this is such a special product that they are limiting how many they have put into production, which means today is the day that we're sharing everything about it. And today is the day that you can start ordering them. This is going to be what we're going to call a pre-order, which means that you're going to go ahead and place your order today or sometime this weekend. And then because of how many units they have ordered in manufacturing, and because it is a bulky unit, this is not the unit that we're launching today. I'm going to show you the actual unit here in just a second. But what I want to share with you is I am excited about this because I have been waiting. I have had my far infrared sauna for several years. I want to say 5 or 6 years. And this one cost me somewhere in the ballpark between $5,000 and $6,000. But it was the first thing that I bought when I found out about the technology of the infrared sauna, being able to use it at home, taking up very little space, and how it heals. And having fibromyalgia, this is another one of my little hacks, my little biohacks, as to how I keep myself going at an optimal level without aging too fast. So I'm aging backwards. And so I wanted to share that with you. So just to clarify, this is not the sauna that you're buying today. This is my sauna, which happens to be about twice the size. This is a 3-person sauna. The one that we are selling this week is a 1-person sauna. So it actually takes up half the space of this one. So for many of you that don't have a lot of room, or you want that intimate privacy all to yourself, quiet time, right? So that nobody bothers you. And so you can totally take your mind into a meditative state and experience soothing, dry heat. This is going to be a way that you can do this. So let me show you the video. I'm going to adjust my screen here a little bit because I want to make sure that you get as much of this as you can. So without further ado, this launch is exclusive to all of you in the VIP group. And we're not making it available publicly to sell with all the others. We will be, I'll make sure and click in the comment section the link to be able to buy this specific unit. They will also, if you're in the VIP group on the regular page, they will also include a link to buy this exclusively in the VIP group. So in other words, people are not getting an email in order to buy this one right away. You, all of you that are attending and that are available for this episode, have exclusive opportunities to buy this unit. And for the first 100 of the saunas that are sold, only the first 100, you're going to get $500 off. And that is only for the first 100. This sauna, normally, not this sauna, I'm going to tell you, this sauna right here normally sells over $5,000. The sauna that you guys are ordering is going to be regularly it's going to be $19.99.99. So just 1 penny shy of $2,000. You get $500 off if you order it in the first 100 that are sold. They will be shipped free to you on January 6th is when they're going to be shipping those. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. But without further ado, let's check out the next newest product, which is the Lifepro RejuvaCure Far Infrared Sauna. Here we go. That's it. Okay, so here's what I want to show with you though. Okay, and what I love about this is I have the opportunity to share with you with something that I have had, you get me in the raw. Like, I don't ever go much on the camera anymore with just my hair pulled back. I'm fresh bedhead, no makeup on. I'm in my swimsuit. I'm actually going to get in there in my swimsuit so you can see kind of how this works. Because the idea of us getting into a far infrared sauna is having little to nothing at all. So there's actually, this is now in a private room in my house, so I can go in completely naked in my birthday suit if I choose to, by myself for some chill time where I can just read a book, meditate, listen to some calming music. And super powerful for us to be able to recharge and rejuvenate. Now, that price tag, $19.99.99. The first 100 of you to order one, or the first 100 sold, I should say, the first 100 of them sold is going to get $500 off. So that'll be $14.99.99 with free shipping. If you qualify, and based on the interest rate that you are delegated through Affirm, you can get this for as low as $249.83 for 6 months of payments. So if you are totally tapped out from buying all those Christmas gifts for your families, or that splurge that you really wanted, and you didn't save for this splurge, then you can request for funding through Affirm, and they will process all that information based on your credit scores and all that jazz. So each one of you might have a different fee that you'll pay for 6 months at a time, but that's an option. So if you don't have the $1,500 today or this weekend, then you can go through Affirm and get a little bit of a delay of cash flow for 6 months and pay payments less than $300 a month. So what I want to show with you, many of you might not understand what happens when you get inside of a far infrared sauna. So I want to talk about some of the great features that you're going to get with the RejuvaCure sauna versus with mine, because I paid a lot of extra money for the almost the similar or truly the same type of sauna that sits behind me. You're getting almost a better product in a sense for half the price. I say almost a better product because technology has come along so far, and this technology is like six years old. So it is made of a Canadian Hemlock wood, which is what this is made of. The saunas come in typically two different types of wood, and most of them come from Canada. The Canadian wood is very exclusive as to how they manufacture the wood to put these together, and it is really dominant in the Canadian territory. So they use either a cedar or they use a Canadian Hemlock, and which is what this is. So if you are sensitive to smell, I ordered the Canadian Hemlock because it has no smell. And I really like the lighter color wood, but it is 100% Canadian Hemlock wood with non-toxic glue, okay? So this is really important to understand, because the whole idea is to help us age backwards and to feel better about ourselves going forward. And so if we are putting ourselves in a toxic environment, hoping that we're actually going to help ourselves, and we're in an item or in an environment in which there's environmental toxins making their way into us, this sauna that you're going to be ordering, which is not the one behind me, but the one that you're going to get, this one right here, this beautiful unit, it is made of Canadian Hemlock with toxic-free glue with near zero EMF radiation. So what does that mean? There's a certain amount of radiation that comes from all the different electrical devices that surround us. And so there's a lot of testing that they do on the saunas and the carbon fiber heaters, which you will have 4 carbon fiber heaters in your unit. I have, I think, 10 in this one. But again, I've got a 3-man, you're getting a 1-man, okay? So when it comes to the size, it is going to be like a perfect square as far as how much space. So if you're looking for something that can fit into a corner or next to a closet, there's going to be a much smaller space that this is going to take up on. I know you're all looking for the link, so let me see if Jen can be checking in and can tap in on that live link. I will go ahead and, if you can give me 1 second, I'm going to make sure and include the link here right now. I normally have a backstage crew, but it's Friday right before Christmas, and so I said, hey, I'm up for this. Let's do it. And like I said, I have a lot of experience with the sauna because of how I've used my sauna over time. So let me pull this up while you guys are listing more questions, if you have any questions. And okay, here we go. So the live product link is in effect, says tomorrow at 5:30. So if it does not, if you click on this link and if it does not work tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, it should pop up. Oh, it's so much fun to go onto a different device and see that you're actually live, right? I've never done that before. So let me put this here. There is the link. Bling, bling, bling. So click on that and see what happens. If it's not live, it'll be live tomorrow, okay? So going back to size, 35.4 inches wide by 35.4 inches long. By height-wise, it's about 75 inches tall. And truly, mine is pretty darn close to the same, but twice the width. So if you're looking for something smaller, more cozy, 35 and a half length, 35 and a half width by 75 tall. It weighs 229 pounds. So it's going to take two of you to make sure and work together to get your unit inside. And then once you get it inside, we have a fantastic video that we have assembled in order to teach you how to put it together at home, step by step. Ooh, baby, yeah, yep, just two of you, step by step. We will teach you how to put the tools to use and how to crank the tools so that you can get it together in less than 2 hours. Less than 2 hours to put it together. My husband put mine together all by himself, and I just kind of left it to him to take care of all of that. So they are not complicated. And matter of fact, if you have been watching me through the last couple of years doing the live videos, and we've done through the COVID, I actually had my sauna in the background for a lot of those videos. And so you can see how much space it really takes up. But we've moved it from that space to this new space in my room so that I could have some more privacy, and we could have a little bit more control over how we're using it, since we've got a 12-year-old at home here with all of our friends. So a little limited to use when all the girls are over. So anyhow, okay, let's talk about heat factor. If you are one of those individuals who does not enjoy being out in the heat, but you enjoy the benefits of the sun and how you feel when you're in a warm environment, that's this, without the fear of melanoma or any kind of cancer. So the one beautiful thing about the far infrared sauna is that it has high levels of temperature. This one is turned on right now to 150. No, it's actually 128, but it goes up to 149. Yours will go up to 149 as well. Like I said, the controls are almost identical. That's why I went ahead and shared my unit with you, even though it's not a Lifepro branded unit. It's almost identical because that's how awesome Lifepro is. They just find the products that are out there that are off the chain the best, and they figure out a way to offer it to you with a lifetime warranty for next to nothing, as compared to 4-year, 5-year warranty for $6,000, and all the accessories sold separately, whereas you get all of the accessories for free. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. Anyhow, you can get in as low as 68 degrees, and you can crank that baby all the way up to 149 degrees. And some of you are thinking, ugh, 149 degrees, there's no way. I can't even imagine being out in 100 degrees. But I'm just going to tell you, being in 149 degrees with less than 85% humidity in your space, that's kind of the space you have to keep it in, it is super dry, okay? So if you like dry heat, in order to penetrate from the inside out, that's what infrared lighting does, then a far infrared sauna is going to work fantastic for you. Each one of these panels that you see, and I'll give you a little close up here in just a second. Each one of these little panels that you see is a heater, and it's a carbon fiber heater. So when you go to touch one of those heaters, it doesn't burn you, but the energy, the infrared wavelengths cast their way out and heat you and heal you and regenerate vitality from the inside spine to out. So it doesn't work from the outside in like putting on a heating pad or a blanket. It actually works through you. And what makes it nice is you don't actually feel anything changing in the moment when you're there, because it doesn't, when you're actually experiencing it, there's nothing about it that hurts or feels uncomfortable. If you are really sensitive to the heat, then you might start with a lower level of the temperature of like 80 to 100 before you hop in it for no more than 10 minutes the first couple of times. But you can get in it for up to 60 minutes. So I've got mine set for 60 minutes right now. And I liked it. It only takes 5 minutes to heat up. So, and mine, much like the same of those of you that are ordering, are going to realize that the amount of energy, the amount of electricity that these use is about that of the equivalent of running a hairdryer. Super, super low energy. So the power on this one is 1290 watts, and it uses a 110 volt power outlet switch. So it doesn't have to require a whole lot of change up in order to be able to use it at home. But the one that you're going to be getting is, I have a picture of it here. Since they only have one unit, which is in the New York area, and I'm here in Indiana where it's cold. But so I told him, I said, hey, you know what? I've got one. Let's go ahead and talk it up. So that's the unit that you are looking to buy. And like I said, it's 35.5 by 35.5 square, big enough for just one person. And as you can see, it has a control panel up here at the top. And it also has a control panel inside. Mine just has one in the corner. So you can actually turn it on from the outside without having to climb in. And then you can operate it and cool it down or adjust it from the inside. They adjust really fast. So if you are in yours and it's like 125 and you're like, man, I am really needing to feel the heat. I really am tired of feeling like crap. My fibromyalgia is really flaring up. My joints are hurting. You're going to crank it up to, 140, 145, all the way up to 149. And then you're going to realize that you actually feel so much better when you get out and you use it. So I like to use it either right before I get into the shower, and then I go in and take a cooling shower, or I like to use it after I get out of the shower to actually dry my skin. I'll go sit in mine and cook for like 10 minutes and, allow my body to dry a little bit, and then I feel like just refreshed and rejuvenated and ready to go to bed. You're going to see behind me here, there's a light bulb that's changing colors. And what we call that is chromotherapy. There's a psychology to how color affects your mind and how you feel. And so as we're changing through all these colors, our body is actually responding to the color therapy, chromotherapy, and your unit is going to have 7 different colors. So you're going to get the red, the orange, the yellow, green, the cyan, cyan. That like goes all the way back to like first grade. I don't even remember how to pronounce that color, but it's I think it's cyan blue, and then regular blue, and then violet. So you're getting the whole Roy G. Biv spectrum, which is what is so healing for us. So those of you who have a red light therapy device, this is game changer. This is as good as it gets. Okay. Now, for those of you who have been in a sauna at a resort or a barrel sauna outside, the difference between having a far infrared sauna like this one, using carbon fiber heaters, and using a traditional sauna like they use in Sweden, which is where most saunas I think originated, is in the Swedish countries. But when we look at that, they use steam or hot rocks, pouring water on it in order to create a very high level temperature with the heaters, but you're also creating more of a hyper humid environment. So it is really hard to breathe. It's really hot. You can't see through very well, and it's almost too hot to sit down on the wood. So the difference being that those get up to like almost 200 degrees. This one just gets up to 149. Your RejuvaCure sauna will only get up to 149 degrees, and it'll feel like you're just out on a sunny day without sweating profusely with the sun in your face. What is really cool about the sauna is you have the ability to detox a little bit different. So for those of you who really don't like to sweat, if you end up cranking the energy up on it over like 115, I find that I don't sweat as much when my temperature is much higher in mine. Then when it's around that 100 to 110, 115, I sweat much, much more. And the reason being is because our body is heating from the inside out. And see, mine's been cooking for a while, so it just clicked off. But mine has been, when you get so warm, your body doesn't sweat until it's able to drop the temperature to cool you enough. So you'll find a range of a temperature that is really effective for you to sit and not sweat profusely. Or if you're one of those who wants to sweat profusely in order to detox, then you can definitely crank up the temperature to that, I'm going to say that 115 to 120-ish is where you're going to really feel the sweat pouring off of you. And then when you get beyond that, your body doesn't sweat as much until you step out, and then it comes down. So that's why I like to take it before my shower, and then hop in the shower and rinse off the toxins. The other thing that you can do, which I'll do a demo on this in the future, but the other thing that you can do when you are sitting in your sauna is you can do what's called dry brushing. And dry brushing is you take a bristled brush made for your body, and you actually brush your skin in the direction flow of your lymphatic patterns. So when we look at our lymph nodes and how our body uses the lymphatic system to flush out all the junk in our system, if you use dry brushing technique, it stimulates your pores to open up so that your body can flush through your skin, because our skin is our greatest detox organ. If you haven't seen that video yet, you got to check it out. When we talk about lymphedema, weight loss, and Lifepro products, there's a whole video just on lymphedema and how to detox using our products. But when we are looking at using the sauna, you can use the massage gun inside of there. You can put the Serger vibrating foam roller in there on the bench and sit on it while you're enjoying the heat. And so you're getting a lot of different modalities all at once. Or you can just do what I do, and you just go in and sit in and just chill, okay? So you have a lot of options. Now, this one is going to come with these lights on the outside. As you can see, mine does not have any lights. You're also going to see that it has a slatted floor, and mine does not have a slatted floor. It's solid, but it also has a backrest that comes free. I had to pay for mine. Mine were $100 a piece, and I've got two. So that's an extra tack on those dollars, right? The Chroma Light Therapy, when you buy that through the company I bought mine through, it's an extra $100 add-on. The other thing you're going to notice, and you're going to be able to see it here in the very back of the picture, I'll pull it up in a different set of their parts, but you're going to wonder, like, how on earth do I disinfect my RejuvaCure sauna? Well, we have this thing called an oxygen ionizer in there, and you're going to see, you can see where my finger is, that little white box that's up there, that's an oxygen ionizer. It does everything that is necessary in order to disinfect the air in there so that you don't have to worry about disinfecting between you using it with other people. So you get yours for free. I had to pay another $150 just for that extra little feature. So when I bought mine, I bought all the bells and whistles. Nick, I love your comment. I don't rinse off right after. I allow up to 1 hour after to continue to detox. I love that. In fact, how awesome would it be to have your vibration platform in the vicinity of your infrared sauna, and you hop in the sauna for about 10, 20 minutes, maybe a half hour, so that you get that heat penetrating really deep, and then you step out and you got the vibration platform right there. How awesome would that be? I mean, that is like the ultimate biohack. And like I said, you can use a massage gun inside. So I've done that many, many a times. Now, there are some other things that come with this for free. Not this one, but the one that you're going to be getting. I keep reverting to mine. And I'm excited. I hope that he sends me one of these to test so I can compare and contrast side by side, because I'm telling you, I waited for years before I could buy one because I couldn't afford one of the others. And so I'm really excited that that there's a chance I can get one. So that's what Jules looks like. That's the RejuvaCure. Somebody asked if you can put it on, oh, 2-year warranty. So I'm glad that somebody said lifetime warranty versus 2-year warranty. I did not get that little insight, so sorry about that little detail, but they just cashed in on that question. So I want to show you something here real quick. Let me give you a little inside view. So if you look at my floor, what is my floor? it is carpet, and it is really tight packed into the wall. And so I want to be able to show you this room as a unit, okay? So as you can see, it is on carpet, and it's in a very tight space. So yes, you can put it on carpet, and you don't have to worry about smothering anything in the surrounding spaces. So let's go in for a little tour, okay? And we'll do a little bit of talky talk. Okay, so this is really close, right? So you're gonna see these heaters. This is what the heaters look like. Your heater is gonna be much the same, but your heater is actually bigger. So you have 4 bigger heaters than what I have, and yours are gonna be wider, so you're gonna get more exposure. But when it comes to, tell you what, let me flip the screen, because that might be just a little bit easier. There we go. Okay, so my panel has the temperature much the same as yours. So when you go to turn it on, we're gonna go, it's already on, but we're gonna go up, and mine goes all the way up to 140. Oh, yours gets to go higher. Mine only goes to 140. Yours goes to 149. So we are in here. Mine goes up to, I do know that mine goes up to the 60-minute time. So oxygen ionizer. Yours has got Bluetooth speakers as well. Mine does not. Mine just has this little auxiliary cable, this little light switch, okay, but I don't ever use it. There's your chromo light, okay, and it changes colors. When it comes down to the seat, you're gonna get the backrest free, okay? Yes, it can be placed in a closed garage. Professional assembly, not sure what their plan is for that. You'll have to double check with them when you reach out. We're going to provide you the assembly video, but you're going to have a heater. So each one of these panels, each one of those panels that screws in is an infrared heater. Okay, near zero EMF radiation, so you don't have to be worried about toxicity with cancer and things like that. Now, one thing I want to share with you. One thing that I do not have a towel holder. You get a towel holder, okay? Your handles are gonna be much bigger. So I've got a little picture here. And there's a towel, whoops, there we go. It's always fun doing this backwards. There's a little towel hook right here on the inside, but you've got these 2 big handles here on the outside. I'm actually gonna pull up the video again so that you can see this. But, okay, there we go. So, yes, there we go. Okay, so if I go through this really slow, we're gonna pause. Here, see if I can break this down little scene by scene. Okay, so let's go through this here real quick. So we've got our wonderful model getting in there, and you can see it's a very tight space, okay, very, very tight space. So as we get going through, whoops, this is not working out how I wanted it to. There we go. Okay, so there's your panel, okay? I know this is reflecting everything. So if you get too warm, you can leave the window open. You can leave the door open. I'll tell you what here. This is a little trickier than I thought it was going to be. So there we go. Now we got it. Okay, so you see that there's a towel holder in there. My nice high-end did not come with a towel holder. And you got the door handles, which are nice and convenient. As you see, he can actually lay his head on the heater. Yes, you can do that. It will not hurt you. I will show you some different ways of positioning yourself if you'd like to, but you don't have to worry about actually running into anything that's hot, because it's comfortable enough that you can sit in there without running into anything and being worried about getting burnt. You're not going to get burnt from the heaters. So again, I'm going to show you this again so that you don't have the reflection behind you. Lots of lights so that you can have some lighting inside. I don't have traditional lighting. So you're getting a better product than what I have behind me. It's just half the size. So 2-year warranty. Yes, I will make sure and include this video so you can break it down step by step. Make sure that you have water. It does have a water bottle holder in there, which is quite handy. I do not have one in mine. And again, we got non-toxic glue. We got a double-sided control panel. You can listen to Bluetooth speakers using your phone, listen to music, or listen to a podcast or an audiobook. And then one other thing that I want to share with you real quick. When you get it, it is going to be what we call secure shipping. And I took a picture of this. You're going to get, it is enclosed in crates. It comes with, like, it is really, really protected. It's a big container, but not so big that you can't operate it, but is highly protected so that as it's being sent here, that you don't have to worry about it breaking apart. And when you put your stuff back, when you go to assemble it, you're not going to have to worry about bad parts. Now, there are some individuals that I would like to share with really quick, and so I'm going to actually sit inside of my Sauna and multitask. Make sure you got your towel. I want to give you some tips and tricks about what to expect. And yes, again, I'm in my swimsuit. Amber in the roll again, so no judgment. You're going to get to see all of my not so fabulous features. But yes, so what I do when I'm sitting in here, because the edge of the bench can be a little uncomfortable, if you are really sensitive, I have fibro, so I'm really, really sensitive to things touching me. So I'm going to show you a little secret here. And then I would like to say thank you to a long list of people that helped us with some questions getting ready for this. I just take a white bath sheet, okay, or whatever beach towel, or if you want to use a mat, and I just lay it right here along the edge of the bench. And your bench is going to be very similar, okay? So I just like to sit it right there on the edge, or if I want to take it all the way across, you can do that. Now, you see I have my swimsuit on, okay? So I do have my swimsuit on. And when you're in the sauna, you want to be wearing as little as possible. As little as possible. Because the idea is to receive the infrared wavelengths to as much of your skin as possible. You don't have to cover up in order to be able to sweat profusely. You're going to sweat if you have it turned up enough. But if you're just beginning, you don't want to hop in when it's really, really hot, okay? So yes, let me slide this up so we can actually see all of you. See all of your wonderful plummets. Should say height limitation while inside the sauna. Yes, so 74 and a half inches or so. My husband is over 6 foot tall and he fits in ours just fine. And I'll tell you, the one that you're getting is the same. Okay, so mine is a 3-person. Yours is going to be half this size. So if you just shut the door right here and eliminate that whole half, so if it's just right here, this is all the space you get. But it's only $14.99.99 if you buy it now. If you wait and you buy it in another week and they've already sold 100 of them, the price goes up to right at $2,000. You got to have water in the sauna. I don't have a cup holder. You get one. So it's quite nice. Now, so that's one little trick. Now, I want to give you a little insight. When it comes to, if you're not one who enjoys feeling sweat and nasty and gooey, that's another reason to have the towel in here. So if you like feeling the wood, actually feels really, really nice, then you have the option of using the towel or not using the towel. What I love about having the towel in here, when it comes to disinfecting these, you cannot use chemicals inside the wood. It'll actually absorb into the wood, and the idea is to be as organic as possible. So I do not recommend using chemicals or wiping anything down on the inside. Now, when you first get it, you can wipe the outside down with like a wood furniture polish, like one time. I don't use much to clean mine off. In fact, I did a lot of research in order to find what I needed to know in order to keep mine really well sanitized, because I have clients that come in, I've got wrestlers that come in, I've got a variety of different people that were using it one after another. And what I come to find out is if you can get one of the microfiber towels that absorbs sweat and you use that to sit on, it It's not as hard to disinfect in between, but here's the secret. Because you're getting the oxygen ionizer, it automatically disinfects the air that you're in, so you don't have to worry about stuff, okay? Infrared and the chromotherapy will naturally kill. They have antibacterial, antifungal properties naturally, so that's a huge advantage. The other thing that I learned in frequent questions that have been asked by the manufacturer that I have, which is much, much more expensive, what I think is really good is that you can just turn it up, crank up the heat to as high as it'll go, and just cook it for 30 to 45 minutes, and it automatically kills everything in the sauna. So if you have individuals who are in between, you have somebody that comes in a half hour after you, or you want to loan it to a friend to come over, then you can turn it up to as high as it'll go, 149, turn it up to 30 minutes, and just let it cook. And it will disintegrate anything that's there from a sweat standpoint, and you'll be in good shape when it comes to disease control and germs and COVID and all that stuff and the flu. You don't have to worry about that with the sauna. They're kind of self-maintained. It is a nature-based wood. God created wood. Okay, it's not manufactured wood. It is an organic Canadian hemlock, and it is treated. Otherwise, it would not be in good shape if you actually did sweat all over it. But it is treated with a non-toxic glue. So you don't have to worry about, coming into contact with natural synthetic toxins. When it comes to your backrest is going to look a little different than this one. However, if I remember right, their backrest is actually bigger. So you can choose to use it, or you can just set it right outside the door, which is what I like to do sometimes, just because I like to be able to slouch back and just cut loose, okay? Now, what I want to share with you, this book, What's Next? It is written by 28 of the world's top experts in health, wellness, and fitness. I am one of the 28 that have written part of this book, and Lifepro is featured in this book. What many of you aren't going to remember from past and sharing this, when I go to turn on to my chapter, one of the reasons why I wrote what I wrote was to be able to identify what we can do on our own without the government, without doctors, without pharmaceuticals and drugs, to biohack into our body to help our body recover so that we can be the best version of ourselves possible. So chapter 28 is about biohacking to your optimal you. And in this book, when I went back and did some research in some journal articles, medical research, things of that nature, when we go back and we look at what other healthy countries in the world are doing to stay ahead in health, and what makes them so successful is they're using a lot of technology that originated all the way back during the Roman Empire, with Hippocrates being the godfather of modern medicine that they still teach in medical school. And one of the countries that talks about what they do is Sweden and saunas. Like, I think everybody in Sweden has a sauna. And if you don't have a sauna, then you're just not Swedish, right? But if you go back and you look at all the different other countries besides the United States, we, by the way, rank last of our healthcare and how healthy our nation is. We rank last, and we spend by far a profound amount more money than any other country in the world. By far. We overspend for drug and surgical and medical research, but we are the unhealthiest. And the countries that are doing better than us are doing stuff like this. What Lifepro does. The whole body vibration platform started in, with the Russian space station. So that actually even goes back to Hippocrates, and during the Roman Empire, they would pluck instruments with cords, or strings, in order to heal an injury. They would pluck strings or tap sticks to create vibrational energy, because that quantum energy actually exchanges energy within our body, and it actually causes the body to heal faster. That's where whole body vibration comes from back in BC before the Ice Age. And we have evidence that actually exists. So when we're looking at the different countries that have influenced how, actually I'm wrong, it's Finland. Okay, Finland, Sweden, they're pretty much all the same, right? Pretty close. But I wanted to share with you a little quote here that I wrote in this book. In Finland, saunas are a way of life and are known for easing sore muscles, improving blood circulation, relaxing the mind, lowering stress hormones, decreasing systemic inflammation, and detoxing the body of impurities. So when it comes to Switzerland, they do forest bathing. So guess where this was manufactured? In the Canadian forests. It is Canadian Hemlock, organic, straight as it gets. In all saunas, if it is not made of a Canadian Hemlock or a cedar that is been made for the purpose of a sauna, stay away from it. Because not all saunas are created the same. And make sure that you're checking, if you're looking at other saunas, make sure that you're checking EMF ratings, because we have a very low, near zero EMF rating. And we have been certified by ETL, by CE, and ROHS. Those are the three organizations that have certified us that it is a safe product to be able to surround you and your family with. My daughter is 12. She was in the sauna when she was 8. So it is safe for children to use. But anyhow, I just want to share that with you. The sauna is in the book. And I'm not the only one who wrote the sauna as part of the part of this book. It's actually mentioned in here in a couple different ways. But we know that near, far, and full spectrum infrared lighting makes a huge difference as to how we heal. We just don't feel it in the moment. And we're used to feeling things happening, like not in a good way. And a lot of times, like when we go in to see a doctor, we know sometimes we're going to have to feel worse before we feel better. And it's almost dreadful to go in to have to like, oh, I'm going to have to feel that before, okay, I can talk my way through it. No, you come in to get into the sauna to feel calm and to let your body downgrade that stress. And or you can use it first thing in the morning in order to meditate. That's what they created in Turkey, the Turkish baths. They made these elaborate, beautiful shrines of baths with hot and cold, so that they could rinse and submerge. And then because they're these beautiful shrines that they can go in with elaborate interiors to meditate, okay? So they go in there to relax and to meditate and to think about like what's coming, or like what am I thankful for, and to pray for other people. So you can do what you want, but that's what makes them special. So I got off track here, and I wanted to share, I've got a whole list of people that I want to say thank you to, because there are so many of you who contributed some feedback for our video infomercial, which you just got to witness. And so there's a long list of people here, but I'm going to throw your name out there because we appreciate you. We appreciate you being part of our journey. We appreciate you giving us some feedback about what you're interested in. And so I hope that I don't butcher any of these names, but if I do, I'm very sorry. I'm just really grateful for all of you for being able to give you some perspective and to help us with our perspective. This is not a full spectrum. This is far infrared, okay? So you're not getting the extreme perspective of near and far and red. You're just getting far infrared. So that means it is not a complete spectrum, but you are getting top of the line, one person, 36. I'm gonna estimate high, so it's 35.4 inches. I'm just gonna say 36, but 35.4 inches squared. So imagine this, 35.4 inches, and then tall or high is 74.0. So let's just say 75, just to make things easier. It weighs 229 pounds. Mine weighs a lot more than that, but mine's twice the size. Mine's built for 3, yours is built for 1. So when we're looking at the pricing, again, I can tell you that some of the top-end manufacturers that have been in the sauna business for a very long time, you're going to spend for a one-man sauna upward in the ballpark of anywhere of $5,000 to $8,000, okay? And you're talking about little bitty differences in one to the next. So when it comes to this one with Lifepro, you're getting a phenomenal high-end sauna for $14.99 if you order it. It's one of the first 100 to go. Otherwise, it's $19.99. If you want the financing, it's $249.83 for 6 months if you qualify for that low of an offer. We don't take charge of all that. It's through a separate third-party organization. 4 carbon fiber heaters. So each one of these is a heater. This is another heater. I've got several in here. You get 4 surrounding you. So you're like fully covered. You're getting the best of the best, right? You have a control panel inside that operates and outside. So it's 2-sided. So you don't have to get in it in order to turn it on. You can turn it on from the outside. But lots of freebies, okay? Again, lots of freebies. When I ordered mine, I spent another $600 just on the add-ons because I wanted the ultimate experience and still didn't get everything. So I would like to say thank you to, like I said, a list of people here. Krista Barbic, Meg at, I'm just going to say AT, Meg AT, Lisa Ramos Wilcox, Jessica Alexander, Yvette Staple, Tasha Red, Debbie Van Wagener Sutherland, got that one right. Laura Culp Elliott, love you, Laura. So thankful for all of your shout outs and waves and hearts. Jen Scoggins, Cindy Sangerman Tran, and these are just pulled off of our Facebook. So just again, sorry if I get your name wrong. We've got Adina Foster, Francina Martinez Valencia, Karen Cecilia Dunlop, Missy Lowry Harris, Ellen Krunzinger, Liz Beam, Cynthia Pre Mason, Amanda Young, Darcy Wong. I'm going to say Wong. It might be Kwong. I'm going to say Wong. But thank you, Darcy. We've got Susan Beaver, Diane LeBlanc Nowlin, Missy Gilbert, Jeannie Larson, Angie Estes, Chandra Schlapia, Yareli GL, Linda Moon, Dolores Blocker. I love Dolores. I see her in a lot of our videos. I'm so thankful for your comments, Dolores. We love you. Penny Herrick, I'm going to get this one wrong. So sorry. Penny Herrick, S-M-R-E-C-E-K. I'm not good with the phonetics on that one. But I'm just going to say Penny Herrick. We thank you, Penny. And then Jessica Marquez. That is my list, front and back, of all of the wonderful people that reached out to us and gave us feedback on what can we do to be better for all of you. And that's what we want from you. We want to be the absolute best version of ourselves that we can be for all of you so that we can contribute to the best side of you. Now, for all of you guys that have these questions, I have the owner's manual here, but I've not actually sat in the original sauna because it's in New York and there's only one. And the rest of you are getting yours on January the 6th is when they ship out. So this is what we call a pre-sale, which means you're ordering it now for a reward of $500 off, and you're going to get it delivered to your doorstep, free shipping, for starting January 6th is when they're going to ship out, okay? So when it comes to the bench height, I do see the bench panel. Oh, so I wanted to show you here, just so you understand like how easy or not so easy this is to put together. These are all the parts in the box. Not so shabby, right? Lots of little parts, okay? And like I said, it's going to take 2 of you to put this wonderful beast together because it's going to be so easy to go together, but really need 2 of you to maneuver and hold parts. So you're going to need a power tool. So you might need to borrow the DeWalt from the screwdriver because it goes much faster if you can just pull the trigger, okay? And there's your backrest. So I want to make sure you get to see the backrest. There's your backrest, okay? So we got a cup holder. We've got the long handle for the door. We've got a towel knob inside. I don't have a towel knob. You guys are lucky. We've got some speakers up here with some lights, and then we got a 2-sided panel. So regarding the plug, That is a good question. Let me pull that up because mine had to have a special plug. However, when we moved it to the room I'm in now, because we have everything on a different circuit, mine is actually plugged into the wall as a normal 3-prong outlet plug. So we didn't have to rig up the circuit board like we did on the other side of the house, because the other side of the house, we had to have something much, much bigger. This is a far infrared, and yes, this one is twice the size of the one that we are offering for sale, which is a 1-man versus a 3-man. And again, I didn't want to tease you and not be able to show you similar to what the sauna is like. So wanted to be able to at least show you kind of how to, what to expect when you get yours. Okay, so when it comes to being indoors, outdoors, it needs to remain indoors. It cannot get wet. So in other words, if you were thinking about putting it outside, if you live in an area that is outside, this is crazy. I went looking, I'll show you something. I was walking on a beach in California a month or two ago, and what was really cool, I was fascinated by some of these houses on Del Mar Shores Beach, but what was really fascinating to me was I saw a sauna just like this on the edge of a cliff, and I thought, man, of all places to have a sauna, to be able to see the ocean, but they're not meant to be outside unless it like never ever rains. It does have chromotherapy, and it's free, Kathy. So if you order one, the chromotherapy lighting comes free, 7 different colors of color therapy, but it's all free. So you don't have to buy anything extra. Everything that you're gonna get comes with. Now, when it comes to, let me see here, I'm looking to see what this extra, okay, so if you choose to shower immediately after, it's not gonna hurt you. I do that, okay? If you are capable of sitting around with your body covered in sweat, and you want to experience more detoxing by keeping your body temperature nice and warm instead of cooling off in the shower, then it's awesome if you can sustain the heat internally until you are able to shower. You don't have to shower immediately, and you don't have to shower later. You can do it either way. It doesn't matter. It's like using a vibration platform. You can get on the vibration platform before you work out, or you can use it as a cool down and flush the toxins after you work out. So you can use the sauna to warm your body up to go and exercise so that you're not having to get in the flow like halfway through the workout, or you can use it to flush all that lactic acid after you work out. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use it to your advantage. But I want to show you this. This was so cool. I actually took a photo because I was just fascinated with it. I thought, man, this is going to be really cool to be able to have a sauna on the edge of a cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean on a California beach, because it's just a beautiful space. So it can go outside as long as it is covered with shelter and it does not get wet, because guys, it's electrical components that you got to plug it into some kind of an electrical outlet. You don't want to go like, we don't want you to get zapped. So I'm going to get to the plug. Just hang tight for me. I'm looking. And we'll get there. Okay, no, we're almost there. We're almost there. Hold out for me. Yes. Almost there. Keep listing questions if you have them. I will get to them. Here we go. So I went for a walk on this beach because I knew I needed the recovery. And I was fascinated by this, but there's this sauna. And I took a picture up close because I thought, man, that is just really cool. You can barely see it from this visual. But there's that little sauna. Isn't that cool? It is sitting on a cliff overlooking. So there's the sauna. And there's the beach. So yes, you can have it outside, but I'm going to tell you probably don't want it outside, because if it rains, you're in trouble. Because it's not going to end well. Okay, let's talk about the plug. When it comes to, there's a lot of cables that kind of are woven through, and it's not hard to do this. Like I said, I've done this before. So there's cables that they're already provided, and there's a lot of hints and instruction and video tutorials on how to put them together. And I'm looking, I know that the voltage of this is 110 volt. So let's see. And if you do have to have that special plug, you're going to make sure that you check in with your electrician. And I am looking. Sorry, I actually read this whole manual, and it's 30 pages long, but that is one thing that I didn't dial in on. So let me, and I did contact them ahead of time because I knew that you would all be asking for the EMF rating, and I do not have it, so sorry. Okay, I can tell you that the far infrared lighting waves are between 15 and 1,000 microns. And again, you can't see infrared lighting to the human eye, but it does penetrate into like up to 1.5 inches, 2 inches into your tissue. So really, really deep into the human body. And I'm looking for the plug information on here. It talks about chromotherapy, which I already explained. Joel is with his family tonight, so that's why he's not quickly available. And okay, it says power is 1290 watts, voltage is 110. It doesn't specify. Let me go back through here and double check. And unfortunately, Holly, they are not available to help me because we are flying solo here. Okay. So again, I'm so sorry that you guys are having to wait on me for this. I will get to the bottom of this and come back and post on it later, but it doesn't actually show. I'm not seeing a picture of it. I went through and highlighted all this stuff a while ago, but I'm not seeing a picture of the actual plug-in. So I'm going to check one more page here. Okay. Now here's what it does say, okay? Here, I'm going to read this here out loud to you. It does say right here, when you're choosing a location, you want to make sure it's completely level on the floor. So right now I'm on carpet, so you should be okay. I think because it's a one-man sauna, you're going to be just fine with their standard plug because it says the main power cord, which exits the roof above the left panel, must be easily accessible. And the 9-foot main power cord must be able to reach a dedicated electrical outlet and not to plug other appliances into the same plug. So that answers your question. Because if it had a special plug, you'd only be able to plug that one thing into. So it just uses a regular plug, regular outlet. So there we go. But if you're not sure, then you want to make sure and have somebody who is a handyman or an electrician or somebody in construction who can assist. When it comes to holding these things together, it doesn't use a lot of screws because again, they screw the panels in, but when it comes to actually putting them on, I'll show you how the edges of mine are put together. It's a little clip, so they clip together. So I'll show you that really quick because mine's the same, and mine also has these little vents in the floor. Let's see here. So right here, let me flip this around. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, so down there on the floor, I have little air vents, and I have little holes in the ceiling, and yours, like I said, yours is going to be very much similar in that you can control ventilation, okay? So you're going to have ventilation in the floor, and then when it comes to putting it together, they come together with these little clips, and yours is going to be the same. So they're super easy to put together. There's mine. And yours is exactly the same. It comes in like, it's kind of like Legos. Okay. So there's the long view. And again, now mine is a 3-man size. Yours is just a single-man unit. So you gotta remember, you're not getting the unit I'm showing you. I'm just giving you the sauna experience so that you can see what it's like to be, you have an understanding. It's not the same as your other European saunas. Most of the other saunas that are put together, again, they're going to use stones, rocks, water, and almost like a charcoal, but they're using it to keep it hot You get a lot of steam, you get a lot of uncomfortable heat, but it's also almost 200 degrees. The one that we are offering, the RejuvaCure 35.5 by 35.5, it comes with 4 carbon fiber heaters, non-toxic glue, so it's toxic-free glue that is helping to keep all these parts put together as one. And again, there's your clips. So it just comes together kind of like a big puzzle. Made of Canadian Hemlock wood. And again, you're going to find with a lot of these specialty products, there are only certain places in the world that specialize in the products that are used to put these items together. So if you go to buy a sauna somewhere else, or you buy the one that's been used, they're typically all made from Canadian Hemlock wood from the same region of the world, because those that wood is harvested only in a specific area. I did a ton of this research when I was looking into buying mine several years ago because the options were far limited. So when it comes to having a sauna, the quality of the wood is what makes the experience special. If you don't have a really good quality wood, then the heat does not transfer the same way, and you get the smell, and it doesn't combat bacteria, and it's really hard to clean. These are so self-maintained. All you gotta do, crank up the heat, turn it on for 30, 45 minutes, let it cook, and then it doesn't, you don't wipe it down. You don't disinfect it. You don't use, disinfectant wipes or Clorox or a spray. Don't do anything like that to wipe it down, because it soaks into the wood and then it stays there. It doesn't go away. But most of these products that are assembled through the same types of parts, a lot of them are assembled the same. But when it comes to the carbon fiber heaters, that's where the safety is, because that's where the EMF radiation wavelength technology is either really high on the chart or really low on the chart near zero. You want your numbers to be as close to zero as possible. There are very few saunas on the planet that are completely zero. There's just a trace, and when I say a trace, like less than one, like super, super small levels of EMF. And we have more EMF in our phone or in our hair dryer, in our microwave, than what even the worst of the saunas have. So I did a lot of that research years ago when I was looking to buying my own, because there's so many different options, it was overwhelming. And what I love about Lifepro is they've made it simple. They kept it simple. You don't have to think to yourself, do I really want to buy the ionizer? Do I really want to buy the chromotherapy? Am I going to need that backrest in order to be comfortable? Where am I going to place a towel, or do I need water? You're going to get all of it in one package right here, one price, no extra add-ons. You get what you get, and it's all included. That's one of the things that makes Lifepro so special, is they don't make their money by adding on all the extra accessories. They want you to have the ultimate experience, because that's what brings the business back. So many of you guys are all in with a lot of our different products, and you just keep coming back for more because it's working. The sauna is going to be the same, but it is not going to be available to everybody. And just remember, you guys are getting exclusive offer. We're not even offering this on the main website. So in other words, when it goes to being on the main Lifepro page, they don't even have access to this live footage right now. We wanted to offer it to all of you as a thank you for being a VIP, and you all get the chance to buy it, and whatever's left over will go to the rest of the crowd. When it comes to chromotherapy, there's a psychology that goes into how light changes and colors change our moods and our emotions. There's a whole list. I've done a bunch of this research. It's very similar to red light therapy, blue light therapy, in that you're getting a change in moods, you're getting a change in how the body responds, depression, bacteria. Here we go. So when it comes to choosing, and for mine, I have a remote. I don't know if Lifepro has a remote or not, but I have a remote, so I can actually choose a single color light, and it stays green, or it stays, let's see, There's purple, a lighter purple, and then it automatically goes through the different colors. And if I like one, then I can just switch it, okay? So I don't know that Lifepro's is like that. I think you have the option on the control panel of making it whatever you want it to be, but you're gonna get the whole spectrum of RejuvaCure in light therapy. So with red, it's very similar to the red light therapy. It's anti-aging benefits, collagen, elastin production, maintaining your fascia, reduces eczema, psoriasis, flaky skin, rosacea, fine lines and wrinkles, right? When it comes to orange is, or amber, the amber light that we use on the RejuvaCure light therapy mask, you're gonna get an anti-inflammatory response. So if you are naturally more red, I'm not wearing any makeup today, no makeup at all. This is me, hair pulled back, nada. But I do have rosacea in some ways, and I got a nice little pimple right there. So when you get to, the orange, it actually takes the inflammation away. When it comes to using the yellow light, it helps to detox the blood in the skin, boost the immune system, and helps to improve mood and reduce depression. Okay, going to ask this question because you scooted away. Yes, okay, so you're asking about red light therapy for hair growth. And yes, the sauna actually can help with hair growth. And the reason being is because it is stimulating, regenerating cells to produce. So we're creating more blood flow, more opportunities for our body to regenerate itself. So as we are losing cells, our body is a little slower at trying to put those cells back on. So let's see, yes. So when it comes to, using red light therapy or even infrared light therapy is much deeper. So it's going to go through to a deeper level, and anything within that space that it's getting access to those wavelengths is going to respond. So yes, you can actually use red light therapy is phenomenal for hair growth, but the infrared is even deeper, so you're going to get deeper penetration, which in the head, you can't get much deeper into the cranium, but that's where brain health comes in. So for people who have had any kind of autoimmune disease, that's me, and I've had the head injury, and I've had the spinal injuries, that's why I have one. It penetrates really deep in order to help alleviate and heal from the outside in. Let's see, I'm seeing, okay, awesome. Green light is going to boost lymphatic drainage. So you saw my green light on. I'll turn the light off in just a second. You can see how bright and how soothing all this really is. In fact, hang tight. Surprise, surprise. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's what it's like to be in the dark at Amber's. I know my visual just changed because the lighting is dim. So I'm looking a little foggy. Okay, so with green light, we're getting flushing toxins, balancing oily skin, and reduces redness, broken capillaries, and hyperpigmentation. We also have the cyan, CYAN. I'm not quite sure how that, I'm going to have to look into that. Go back to kindergarten. Like everything we needed to know we learned in kindergarten, right? So we're going to reduce skin irritation, inflammation. Remember, anything that has a component of red is going to be an anti-inflammatory for especially your skin and for wrinkles. Let me turn this light up just a tad because my camera is not picking me up as well. And I'm back. So when it comes to blue light is really powerful antibacterial, antifungal. So if you have the pimple, if you have inflammation from plucking those chin hairs, for all of us wonderful people that get extra hair where we don't want extra hair, and you go to pluck and pull, and we start to almost irritate things, and we can develop a skin infection from plucking too much, then you can use blue light in order to help heal that tissue. So actually use blue light a lot. It's quite nice. I'm dealing with an overgrowth in yeast, candida, and you can use chromotherapy, light therapy, wavelengths, natural energy in order to disintegrate all that extra stuff that we don't want in our body. But blue light is really good for antibacterial benefits, acne, regulating your oil-producing glands, reducing the appearance of acne scars. I was on Accutane 4 years ago, so I had the acne scars. I don't have those visible anymore. And then psoriasis and a boost collagen. Now, the violet. We've never talked about violet lighting. Violet lighting is what you want. That's this one. You want violet lighting for when we're trying to calm down and go to sleep. Because what it does is it's going to help regulate your serotonin levels. It's your happy hormone, makes you really excited, but calm, okay? And serotonin is like a high percentage of serotonin is actually regulated in your gut. And for those of us, like me, who have gut challenges, the serotonin levels are not released as efficiently. So to optimize that, you can use violet light in order to stimulate serotonin production, which is what helps us to relax, but also keeps us happy. So serotonin in the brain also reduces anxiety and depression. So if you're wanting to improve your sleep, improve your energy levels, and wanting to help treat acne and balance out your skin, then violet light is your friend. But it's really hard to find violet light devices because it's not the mainstream that we see with red light, infrared, or I know like some of our masks have the amber light and the green light, and some of them have blue light, and we just have all kinds of different lights. So if you've used the, we've got the light therapy torch. The newest one that we just launched, the RejuvaCure light therapy torch, it actually has multiple colors of light, but it also has pulse light. So you can blink the light, which creates more excitatory response to the cells that are attracted to that response. And that's what creates the change in the human body. So hopefully that answers the chromotherapy section of all of these questions. Yes, you can order using that link. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for posting that. Like I said, I normally have a whole team behind stage somewhere else in the country kind of answering some of these questions. And because it's the holidays, I was beyond honored to take the throne tonight alone and run with the show. That's why we're on Facebook Live and not through a third party. So we're not streaming live on YouTube and Facebook original group and Instagram. We are just right here in our exclusive little VIP group because we value each and every one of you, and we love to be able to give you something ultra special that nobody else gets. So our thank you to you is for sticking with us, giving us a chance to change your life, and educating you in how you can hack. I call it biohacking. Biohacking is trying to tap into your human biology, your chemistry, in order to give your body the ultimate environment to heal itself. And we have the ability to do that through hormonal response, as well as through tapping into the nervous system, our autonomic nervous system, which is based of our sympathetic nervous system, which is our go, 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 fight or flight, right? Which is most of our day. And our sympathetic nervous system, which is our calming, relaxation, and our digestion. So, in fact, if you happen to listen to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Google Podcasts, I'm really excited that I got to be part of a podcast show that was just released yesterday with Todd Durkin. He's he's in the top 100 most influential people in the world in health, wellness, and fitness. He is an absolute icon when it comes to knowing things that are out there that are not available to everybody, because he just connections, if you will. I like to call it concierge medicine. But Todd Durkin is the one who actually introduced Joel, the owner and CEO of Lifepro, along with Abe. Todd Durkin's the one that introduced Joel and I together. Like, that's the common denominator that I got to meet Joel. So that's how you all got to meet me through Lifepro, was through Todd. So if you happen to go on to podcasts and you type in the Todd Durkin, D-U-R-K-I-N, the Impact Show, I-M-P-A-C-T, and you click on that for the most recent episode, it's on biohacking. I am the featured guest for that exclusive recording, and we talk a lot about all the different things that you can do for biohacking. And the 3 biohacks that I talked about is barefoot training, getting those piggly wigglies happy, and using your toes and really feeling the ground, and being able to sense through touch. But we also talked about cupping therapy, and whole body vibration is the other feature. So Lifepro is actually featured in that episode. But Todd also has done several episodes on red light therapy. And you can go to Stop Chasing Pain, Stop Chasing Pain with Dr. Perry Nicholson. He does a lot of stuff on natural pain remedy hacks, and I was a featured guest on his show several months ago. And you can find that episode if you go to my website, kksmagik.com, kksmagic.com. You can click on any link that will take you to any one of those episodes or any of those magazine articles. And in benefit of Lifepro, I contributed a lot of podcast recordings and magazine articles as to how we can use Lifepro products and other products that are available out there with technology that Lifepro is not using yet, to how to get the best version of yourself by aging younger. So being 44 years old, I'm living my best life now, feeling 20 years younger, but it's through using the infrared sauna, and it's through using the whole body vibration platform, and it's through using blood flow restriction, BFR technology bands. It's through using the massage gun, which I was introduced to 5 years ago before Lifepro made them. So many different hacks that help us to feel better so we do not have to pop a pill every day. And if we are having to stay alive with popping a pill, that we can at least help our body regulate on a better level. I'm seeing that we're having some trouble with the link. So let me pull this one up again, because they sent it to me. And I will post this all for you. And again, I'm so thankful that you are all here tending to, listening in. Tomorrow at 5:30. So if it does not, click on that and see what happens. If it's not, okay, so I just posted it. And so if you can click on that, if it's not working, then they're doing something backstage that I'm not aware of back at headquarters, which I don't have access to, but Randy says it's functioning just fine. So thank you, Randy, for letting us know. That's awesome. So I just uploaded it. So just click and it will give you access to order. Now, somebody had mentioned before, are we going to get an opportunity to order one like Amber's? Are we going to get to have a bigger 3-man, 4-man sauna? And so when I talked to Joel earlier, it seems that it will take at least like a year in order to get those designed and in production at the expectation high standard that Lifepro expects. Not just any sauna, but Lifepro puts a tremendous amount of engineering, design, testing, and I can tell you I've tested a lot of their products that have not made it out to sale, because we do quality and control testing. And there are products that I have tried with quality control and I'm like, I don't think this is the right product for our people. Don't want anybody to get hurt. I'm not a big fan of it, and I really don't want to sell it. They really do listen to what you all have to share, and they listen to what I'm telling them based on my expertise in sports medicine and pain management. So if you're waiting out for that chance that we're going to release a 3 or 4-man sauna. 4-man saunas are huge, by the way. Mine's 3. 4, you can lay all the way across the bench. But 4, it takes up a lot of space, So I'm very happy with mine. I would be fine having a 1-man sauna in my treatment room, in my facility for people to heat up in before I actually get them on my table to do my handy magic hands work. But we are not releasing another sauna for quite some time. So if you bought the sauna blanket, you can still use your sauna blanket. Using the sauna blanket is just a whole different thing. If you're wanting the portability of using a sauna and you don't want to have something this elaborate, then our BioRemedy and we've got 2 sauna blankets that are out. Those are wonderful to have if you're not wanting to take up much space and you're wanting to fold it up and tuck it away and disinfect it really easily. Because it is made of a vinyl And we've got another one made of a leather, or like I'm going to call it pleather. It's not like a thick grade of leather, but super easy to disinfect. You can actually wipe that down with a disinfection wipe. This is totally different. But again, the energy is different. So with the sauna blanket, you're getting coils back and forth running up and down, and you can actually completely cover up and it seals you up. And it does heat up to 175, I think. This you're getting Canadian Hemlock wood, an organic wood manufactured for the purpose of sauna construction. And so you're getting the earthing, and you're getting the grounding, the chromolite, the light therapy, the heat therapy, a lot of different things in a traditional sauna that you're not going to be able to get from the blanket. But if you like the blanket and it's working for you and you're not ready for the sauna yet, keep using the blanket because it's still going to help you. I used those for a long time prior to getting pregnant. Unfortunately, doctor doesn't know enough about either one to feel comfortable before using them now, but cannot wait to get back to them. Yes, well agreed. Most people are okay. Here's what I want you to remember. If you didn't know that you were pregnant until 3 months out, we've been okay for generations doing crazy things that we shouldn't be doing when we're in that first trimester. And so if you're one of those people who happens to get into a sauna and you don't realize that you're pregnant in the first trimester and then you find out later, don't have any extra stress or anxiety about what could happen or what has happened or in fear of something happening to your baby. Because I say most with listening and reading and learning in the medical world, we really worry about things happening in the developmental stages in second and third trimester. Now, I'm not telling you that you can get in a sauna if you're pregnant. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if you are wanting to get in and your doctors aren't aware of any side effects, because how often do they do a clinical study with pregnant women in a sauna? It's kind of contraindicated to put a pregnant mother through harm. So there's a lot of studies that are not available for those going through pregnancy because it's unethical to put them through it. But if you have been in a sauna and you find out later that you're pregnant, I'm sure you're going to be fine. That's not up to me, but I would have no trouble getting in if I knew I was in the first, 2-3 months. In fact, before I had this, my husband and I went on vacation and I was pregnant and I knew I was pregnant and I still used it, but it's up to you. My coworker, I've got an employee who is entering her third trimester this next week, and she has been using our whole body vibration platforms all the way through until last week. She is using the Rumble X Plus to help with sciatic pain and pelvic pain because of the baby pressing. And although there's not a tremendous amount of research on it, it gives her relief. It is one of the few things that gives her relief so that she can maintain her sanity, to feel comfortable and to enjoy her pregnancy. And so, her physician has given her full clearance and support to be able to use the whole body vibration platform. Because what are we doing when we are out and about walking around? Every time we make contact with something. If we're told that we can walk and jog when we're pregnant, the vibration platform is creating that vibrational energy as well. It's just on a different level. So for her, we've just kept her on a controlled level that she feels really good. And we've been working with her on sciatic relief, doing different positions. And, but she's entering her third trimester. So we're going to just continue the platform to make sure that it does not induce her into labor because we don't want to go too soon. So, what you do when you're pregnant is up to you. We're not going to frown upon you if you do what you're told not to do. And we will celebrate you if you decide not to do what your doctor says you can do because you're afraid. Because at the end of the day, it is up to you to be responsible for your choices. And we don't take responsibility if you choose otherwise. So that's my 2 cents on that. But we cannot live life in a bubble all the time or we're going to lose our minds. So unless it's in this bubble. This is a good bubble to be in. All right. I'm looking to see if there's any other questions. And so hopefully, Quincy, I wish you the best. I hope that helps your your response there, but I wouldn't worry about it just right now. But as soon as you make it through, then, enjoy, because it helps us to heal really, really quick. It helps your pelvic floor and all that. When it comes to cardiovascular disease, we don't worry so much about the infrared technology affecting our heart health because it is natural energy. Infrared energy is very natural. We're using wavelengths. It's not electricity. We're using energy wavelengths in order to transform on a cellular basis. What we worry about when you have a heart condition or high blood pressure is heat, because heat can be inflammatory for those who are already suffering of a lot of complicated conditions. So when it comes to getting really, really hot, and if you don't have you're already compromised with a cardiac problem, and your body cannot cool itself naturally through sweating, which is what happens when you sit in one of these. If your body can't naturally cool itself and it starts to get hotter and hotter, then blood pressure naturally goes up a little bit. So you'll need to check with your doctor on the cardiovascular, but the actual infrared light will not hurt you. So if you decide that you want one, you just need to make sure that you keep the heat setting under 100, because you can set it as low as 68 degrees and still get the infrared heat because it's wavelength. It's specifically, it's like light wavelength technology. It just happens to create heat at the same time. So when you're in there, it actually feels wonderful, but you can turn the intensity up by the thermostat. So the thermostat is what controls the dose of the infrared treatment that you're getting. But those of you who have a heart condition, that have other autoimmune challenges, it heals you from the inside out instead of from out to in. So you should be fine with a lot of these conditions, so long as you're able to handle the temperature in the space and you're able to cool your body. If you're diabetic and you have compromised sensations into your extremity, you don't really feel if your body is needing something different because of different sensations. So err to the side of less intense if you have diabetes or neuropathy, because your body does not detox the same way as those who don't have those conditions. So I hope that helps you when it comes to answering some of those questions. You're going to find in this 30-plus page manual that you get with your product, there's going to be a lot of questions, frequently asked questions and answers that are included in the back. One of the things that it offers is choosing a temperature setting. And again, we start out at 68 degrees Fahrenheit up to 149 degrees. Mine just goes to 140. So all the power to you guys, because you get the extra bells and whistles of the extra 10 degrees. And I'm telling you, that extra 10 degrees goes a long way. I would love to have 149 degrees. So I'm hoping Joel will send me one so I can play with it. But 85 to 95 degrees is known to relax the mind, improve your overall sense of well-being, and to stimulate the body and soothe. From 95 to 113 degrees, we're relaxing the muscles. When it comes to getting more into the therapeutic hacking side of things, where our connective tissue, our muscles, our joints, our cartilage, and how our blood flow works, you're going to want to go 113 up to 135. Again, if you didn't hear at the beginning of this, when I'm wanting to sweat, I make sure and crank that heater up to 115 or over. If I'm not wanting to sweat, then I keep it under 100, or I go over 130. Because when it gets too hot in there on a dry heat, because again, the humidity is less or equal to 85%, this is much drier heat. But according to the manual, it says that the relative humidity is going to be less or equal to 85%, which is that's a huge variability. But nonetheless, dry heat treats your body much differently than high levels of humidity. So when it comes to trying to detox through sweating and through stimulating the pores, you can, like I said, you can do dry brushing, or you can run a massage gun in there while you're at it. 113 to 130 is what the manual is telling me. And they go back and look at clinical research in order to write these manuals. This is not just them like writing it out because that sounds good in the moment. That's what they think you want to hear. There's actual evidence. We've got Debbie who does all of the safety and the engineering, and she does all the testing to making sure that all of the like the power and the voltage and the EMF and all of those little factors that most people don't think about are either at the minimum standard acceptable or overly exceeding expectations. We are known more for exceeding the expectations. We like to provide you the extraordinary product for residential use as opposed to the generic knockoff version. So you're getting an extraordinary experience that is evidence and research based. And Joel takes a long time to be able to put that stuff together with a lot of testing. But 113 to 131 is what you're going to do for relieving chronic pain, inflammation, autoimmune, arthritis, and for pairing it with physical therapy or rehabilitation. So if you're trying to heal muscle strains, you've got joint tension, you've got autoimmune disease like me, I've got fibro. My happy medium typically in here is about 115 to 125. After I get to 125-ish, I don't sweat. My body gets so hot that it doesn't cool the same, but I'm penetrating that heat much deeper than if I'm at a lower temperature. However, I can only stay in it for 10 to 15 minutes if I'm at like that 125 to 140 because it gets so hot that it's like, okay, I'm getting a little lightheaded, I'm getting a little dizzy, let's open the door, clear out some air, and that way I'm still getting the heaters, but I don't get so hot, then my body can't cool itself. So if you are naturally one who gets lightheaded and dizzy when it's really warm outside, you get blurred vision, you're going to err to the side of caution and keep it under 100 for 10 minutes at a time just to get started. If you're wanting to really crank it up, again, you can go up to 60 minutes. And there's mornings that I'll get up really early and I'll go in, and instead of going back to sleep and hitting the snooze button, I'll go in here and I'll actually lay down and just do deep breathing and relax. And then because it gets so hot, it kicks me out pretty quick within that hour because you can't stay in there for too long or your body lets you know that you've been in there too long. Some signs, if you have been in too long, would be you are experiencing blurred vision. You're getting lightheaded and dizzy. It's harder to breathe. You start getting upset belly, or you just cannot cool at all. So I would highly recommend starting out lower. And if you don't feel like much, then crank it up 5 degrees or 10 degrees at a time until you find that happy medium. Start at 10 minutes, and you can work your way up to an hour. But an hour is a long time, so if you don't have something to read, then it can be a little bit of a challenge. 130 to 149 is going to promote fat loss as well as boosting lymphatic and detox. So if you're wanting to lose fat, that's what this baby does. I bought mine for fibromyalgia, for fat loss, and for detoxing because I've got an autoimmune condition. So, and I don't live a stressful life, but I live a very fast-paced, energetic life. So I'm always have to be somewhere to do something. So in order to allow my body to be able to go and bounce off the walls without aging too fast, we have to find a way to hack into our neurological system so that we continue to heal. Because when we are bouncing off the walls and we're, putting out fires and taking care of our family and trying to be here and there and with all of you, which I love, your body, the stress hormones can be overtaxing and your body can't recover. So this is one of my little secret hacks, and now I get to share it because Joel is releasing one. It's a one-man, 35.5 by 35.5 by 75 tall. So my husband is a little over 6 foot tall. He fits in ours just fine. So you might have to duck to go in the door, but when you get in there, there's plenty of room. Now, you will not be able to squeeze 2 of you in the one man. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So don't get all excited about saying, oh, I can't wait to share this with a friend. One person at a time, because it gets really cozy in there. And the more people you cram in there, the more hot you feel. It's been like 4 or 5 Christmases ago. I hosted a ladies gathering one night. It was hilarious. We had like an open house. And we had a moment to try and see how many of us ladies could squeeze into the sauna, and we're like face planting on the glass, and we're wearing pajama pants and house slippers, and we're like squeezing in and like making faces, and it was hilarious. We got, this is only a 3-man sauna, we got 10 women in that sauna just as a joke. So don't try that at home though. That's not a good idea to try at home. Okay, so I'm going to give you some response to contraindications because I don't want you to push the buy now button and then you're like, oh crap, I'm reading this and it says I cannot use it. So if you have any kind of a challenge with any of these contraindications are a possibility for you, then I'm not telling you not to try it. I'm telling you make sure and talk to your doctor first or your specialist and see what their feedback is. And because this is, from a liability standpoint, we have to make sure that we are protecting you as well as protecting us from something happening, from a bad decision, from us directing you to make a bad decision. So some of these safety instructions can be over the top, but it's for the absolute necessary protection for some of those who really aren't thinking their way through the decisions, and so we want to make sure that we're covering our grounds. But if you are one of the people that I'm reading about here, talk to your physician or talk to your therapist or your specialist and get clarifications because, whole body vibration for a long time was contraindicated, or massage for those who have cancer. And do you know who, like one of the largest group of physicians that is prescribing the whole body vibration platforms are cardiologists as well as oncologists. Why? Because it actually helps the body detox from all the drugs that we take in order to help cure cancer or put cancer into remission. But unfortunately, the longer those drugs are in our system, starts to affect other things. There's a lot of side effects. So a lot of those doctors are now starting to prescribe some of these different modalities for our body to have a better chance at recovery. So always check with your specialist because these are just general recommendations that we want to make sure that you're consulting for. When it comes to an age limit, like I said, my daughter's 12. She used ours when she was 8. I kept it under 100 degrees. That's tolerable. The infrared wavelength technology is not going to hurt individuals because it's naturally everywhere. We have wavelengths of energy everywhere around us. What I would highly recommend though is a lot of kids like to go over the top and beyond, like heavy dose of the fun stuff. So I would make sure if you have a younger child that wants to sit in there and visit with you, I would not leave a young child unassisted or unsupervised in one of these units. If they can squeeze in there with you and it's not too much and they want to sit in there for 5 or 10 minutes with you, I don't think that's going to hurt anything. But is there an absolute age restriction? If you go to a club, you go to a spa or you go to a gym, if they are under the age of 13, it's off limits because that 12, 13-year-old age is that magic age in which teenage life starts to change, the body hormonally starts to shift. And so from a legal standpoint, 12 to 13 is that legal age limit in which kids can be more useful in gyms and in using equipment and using some of the other modalities that you might find in some gyms. Under the age of 12 is a very gray area in the legal world of fitness and wellness. So it's kind of taboo if you have a facility and you allow an 8 to a 12-year-old to use some of your different devices because of legal issues. So I'm just going to say from an age restriction standpoint, it is up to your discretion as to whether you allow a child to use it, but I would not under any circumstances leave your child unassisted or unsupervised, and I would not do anything over 5 to 10 minutes on a lower level temperature just to have the opportunity to be in there. But that is up to you. So, contraindications. Do not use this product. It is intended for people in good health, but here's the gray question. What is good health anymore? Because like I said, when I was doing the research with our healthcare as a global unit, the United States has the absolute worst ratings for healthy population, but we have some of the best medical care and technology available, but we have the worst health. So when it comes to other countries, they have really good health, but they don't spend a lot of money on drugs and procedures in order to fix. They do preventative health instead, which is what this is. So I'm going to let you define whether good is good. It does say here, if you are pregnant, suspect of being pregnant, or breastfeeding, if you have a defibrillator implant or pacemaker, if you have a fever, a headache, or feel sick, or if you are hungover, that's a very real thing because you're already dehydrated, and we're going to put you in a hot environment and make you sweat even more so that you're going to like melt in there. Not a good idea. The reason why, if you have a headache, you're nauseous, or you're running a fever, your body is already fighting. Your body is already trying to help you heal. And so when we put you in a hot environment and we put you in an environment that's not normal for the rest of the human body and it's already fighting, there's already disease or illness or something that's not normal that's creating some of those responses, it is a signal to your brain to leave that environment. So you don't want to go into the bubble of the sauna if you already have something going on that's compromising your immunity, meaning on an acute basis. So if you have a fever, you have a severe headache, which is usually an indication of blood pressure, or can be an indication of stroke. Some of those different things, we don't want to increase the heat in your body if you are already feeling bad, because that's not a good idea. If you have an open wound, if you're bleeding, or you have a superficial infection, again, you're going to use more of the red light therapy or the green light, blue light therapy. You can use the infrared light, but just make sure that you are covering some of those areas and that you don't have open wounds where you're seeping out, because that's not a healthy environment. Sunburn is another one, because a sunburn is an inflammatory process. So if you have an acute sunburn, and if we add heat to the sunburn, then the body isn't able to cool very well. So cold is good for sunburns. Consult your physician before using this product. If you're over the age of 60 and you have a hard time regulating your body temperature, that's a really important thing. If you have an issue with regulating your body temperature, which is homeostasis, and if you are somebody who just spontaneously faints or passes out or becomes somewhat disoriented, make sure that you have somebody around you supervising you if you decide to try this. And make sure you talk with your doctor. When it comes to those of you who have had heat stroke or heat illness, you are more vulnerable, or even a concussion. If you've had a recent concussion, you're more vulnerable to a heat exhaustion or heat illness. So make sure if you are going to try to use a sauna and you have had a history of heat illness or concussion, make sure that you err to the side of less heat, because again, it drops all the way down to 68, and not hot. So hot is going to be like 90, 95 and over, because we don't want to create more pressure in the brain or in the body, in the vessels, if we are already dealing with a head injury or we're dealing with heat exhaustion or heat illness. So make sure you talk to your doctor about that. If you have diabetes, poor circulation, peripheral neuropathy, sensory deficiency, and again, you have an insensitivity to heat, that also would be, if you are on antibiotics, you are definitely going to be light sensitive. So just be careful with that. I'm not telling you not to use it. I'm telling you to make sure and consult with your physician, or use caution if you decide to try it. We're not responsible. You have heart disease, arrhythmia, abnormal blood pressure, especially low blood pressure. It makes you more prone to passing out. Aortic stenosis. So if you have any of those kind of things, MS, central nervous system tumors, which keep you from being able to sweat, we have to be able to detox our body. And if we cannot regulate our body, we cannot sweat, then it's really hard for us to cool ourselves. So that's where the heat comes into place. Those who have MS, when your core body temperature rises, a lot of people become more symptomatic and their symptoms flare up. It creates more of an inflammatory process than an inflammatory process. So if you are one of those who has MS, by the sauna, but make sure you keep the temperature under that 90, that 85, 90 range, so that your core body temperature doesn't create too much extra intensity that your symptoms start to become more present. So, yes, so the VIP Lifepro offer is open for the first 100 units that are released. We are selling them for the release, or I should say they're going to be shipped out free of charge on January 6th to those of you who order one. He has a very restricted number of units because it is a very expensive product to manufacture. I'm just going to be straight up and honest. There's not a lot of room for cash exchange in this. So what I mean by that, there's not a lot of money-making room in this unit. This is not the unit we're selling. This is my personal unit at home that I've had for 6 years. Paid several thousands of dollars, it's like $5,000 to $6,000, and then I added $600 of accessories. This is the unit that you're purchasing, and it is today for the first 100 units sold. It'll be $1499.99, so it's $500 off today. And it's normally $1999.99, so 1 penny less than $2,000. If you buy it today and you're one of the first 100 units to go, then you're going to get it for right at $1,500. Free shipping, 2-year warranty, so it's not a lifetime warranty like we have with a lot of our other products. But again, when it just, a lot of these units, there's not a lot of money room, meaning there's not a lot of markup on them, okay? They're expensive to make, they're heavy to ship. He's giving you free shipping. It comes in a protective crate. This unit weighs 229 pounds, but it's going to come in a very secure, guarded crate that is going to require 2 of you to carry it into your unit if you don't arrange for white glove service, if you have that available to you. Linda, when it comes to viewing the manual before you buy it, if you want to send us an email, support@lifeprofitness.com, or if you want to send me a direct message through my unit or through my page, you can click on my information on Facebook, Amber Kivett, K-I-V-E-T-T, and I'll be happy to send you a PDF copy of it, so long as Joel gives me the approval to do that. But if you want to email our support team or post, send a DM to Lifepro, I am sure that they would be happy to provide you with an attached PDF copy because they don't have any special secrets that you're not going to have to keep to yourself in that manual. So if that's something that you feel more secure about looking into before you purchase your unit so that you don't have to worry about sending it back if you're not happy, we would definitely like to support that for you. So let us know the easiest way to get that information to you. Okay. I think those are all the major things. If you've had an organ transplant, if you have seizures, if you have epileptic behavior, be very, very careful because light therapy can actually trigger a seizure. So be very careful with that. And again, if you overheat, if you're taking prescription medications that induce you to be really sleepy, you want to be ultra careful because one of the worst things you can do is turn on this unit really high and then get in there and you've set the timer for like 45 minutes and you're so relaxed that you fall asleep and you overheat, but your body doesn't wake you up. And that can happen. That's heat illness. So don't go in and fall asleep if you have trouble passing out really easy, or you're narcoleptic, or if you are hungover. And this is public service announcement of the moment. Lifepro does not have this in the manual. It is not in their notes for me to share with you today. This is Amber's public service announcement to you. Do not drink alcohol-related beverages or use recreational substance in the sauna. Don't do it because your body, when it is going through this kind of technology, you're using far infrared light technology and you're in a hot environment and you're really, really relaxed and you're trying to take your mind somewhere else with something that's not part of the sauna, bad things can happen. And you're in there alone because it's just a one-man sauna, not 3. So do not use recreational substance, any form of alcohol, and try not to take a sleeping pill right before you get in, okay? Not a good idea, but I know it seems obvious, but it's not so obvious. So shipping will be free, and it will be under warranty for 2 years. It is going to be, all the units are going to be shipped out on January the 6th. And for those of you who are just joining in, my sauna here is manufactured by one of the larger manufacturers of saunas. I've had mine for several years. They don't even make this sauna anymore. And I paid like between $5,000 and $6,000 for it, and I had to buy all the bells and whistles. I had to buy the light, I had to buy the oxygen ionizer, I had to buy the backrest. Mine doesn't even have a towel holder or a bottle holder. Mine came with the Bluetooth. No, I take that back. Mine came with speakers that have the auxiliary, but because mine is so old, it doesn't even, like, Bluetooth wasn't even available. So hopefully that helps you. It comes with the wood backrest, and it's $19.99.99. It's $500 off for the first 100 of you to get one, or for the first 100 orders taken, and which takes it down to $14.99.99. 2-year warranty. Now, here's a little kick. If you are one who puts it together and you decide that you don't like it and you want to send it back to Lifepro, I am sure that they will take it back, but I am sure that you're going to be stuck with a shipping fee, because as I'm seeing posted here, it costs a fortune for them to ship these units because it comes in a crate, which means that they're going to use a cart to get it to you, and the harder it is to get it back to them, which means you're going to have to keep all of your packaging, or you're going to have to take it somewhere and have it packaged so that the parts come back the way they are. They're going to be, I would imagine, much more strict about whether they take product back. But if you listed it on Marketplace or in your local community, I am sure somebody would love to buy it for the price that you're paying, because you can't find them that cheap right now. And as you understand, with inflation and with supply-demand chains, he only has a certain number of these available because they're hard to get a hold of. So if you end up in not liking it, resell it to a friend or to a family member, or put it on a classified ad, because by the time you take the effort to put it back into the packaging it came in, and you arrange for shipping and you pay the shipping, you could have already sold it for half price. So just want to make sure you think about those things ahead of time. When it comes to info about how to put it together, they provide you, there is this video that comes along with, and I want to make sure that, I'm glad you mentioned that. I would be happy to provide a link on the Facebook group under this level. I will post the assembly video so that you can see how it goes together. The whole assembly video, believe it or not, is less than 5 minutes. It takes less than 2 hours with 2 of you using a power tool and other tools that come with. But it's a click and snap together. So it doesn't, you don't have to drill holes. You don't have to beat it together. It's not put together piece by piece. It comes in several large pieces. I'll show you here the parts list. My husband put mine together by himself in a couple of hours. So here's what comes in the box. There's the list of parts in the box. And we're going to provide you with a short video that shows you all the little step-by-step ways to put it together and assemble. Make sure, this is something they want me to share with you, make sure when you get your product, your user manual, we will make sure that you are able to get a copy of that video, because after they went through and wrote the manual and ended up in printing the manuals, they realized in the assembly process for all their testing that they missed a few steps in the manual, but it costs a lot of money to reprint manuals. So you'll want to watch the video. If there are any missing gaps on putting it together, like I said, it's going to take 2 of you put it together because it weighs 229 pounds before you unpack it. So I will be happy to upload a manual so that you can see it, so long as Joel gives me permission to do that. And I would be happy to provide the assembly video, which is, he just released that to me yesterday. So you'll also see the advertisement video, so I'll make sure I include that in the comment section once we disconnect here, so that those of you who want to see all of the different resources, I understand it's a chunk of change, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of effort to bring one of these to your front door, and especially if you live in an apartment. If you live on a higher level floor, remember, it's only 229 pounds. It doesn't weigh 500 to 1,000 pounds. It looks heavy, but it's really not. My husband and I, if you get the little furniture sliders and you put that underneath, you can slide it around the room really, really easy. We got it in the room it's in right now because it was in a totally different side of the house. But if you have it in a space in your room and you're like, I really don't like it there, but I really don't have anybody to help me, you can put the furniture sliders underneath of it and use yourself to push it around. And we did figure out that it does take just a standard 3-prong plug for the outlet. It doesn't have to have an electrician come in and rig up a whole separate outlet just for, it doesn't have to have a special outlet. We put a special outlet. Mine does have to have a special outlet because it's a bigger space. It holds more people. It has more heaters. It requires more energy. So mine does require a special plug, but the one that Lifepro is selling you guys today does not. It's a standard plug. The size of it is a perfect square. So it's 35.5 by 35.5 by 75 tall. And again, mine is pretty darn close to the same size in dimensions if you chop it in half. So, and here's what's funny. I love telling, I'm not making fun of other countries, I swear to you this, but mine is considered a 3-person sauna. If my husband and I are in here together, it is tight. So I'm pretty sure that they took 3 petite men or 3 Chinese men and put them in the sauna to call it a 3-man sauna, because it is really tight with my husband and I, and we're not larger people. So that's just a little insight. I'm not making fun of anybody. I love the world, but what might be considered a 3-person or a 2-person or a 4-person is all perception and how much room you really want. The 1-man sauna, it is a 35.5 by 35.5 inch square base, and then the height on it again is 75, and it's 75 inches tall. That's what they give me on the exterior. Let me see if they give me totally different dimensions, but that's what the dimensions were on the back of this manual. And like I said, I read the manual through and through, and it's 35 pages long. A lovely homework assignment for me. I'm always learning, so it's a good thing. But yeah, so want to show you here real quick. So it goes together like a puzzle. So if you can put puzzles together and you have a friend, you're going to be fine trying to put this thing together because it snaps together. It buckles, okay? Mine's got buckles as well, but it comes together as these slat components, and all of the wiring is already housed inside. So you don't have to do any special wiring. You don't have to be an electrical expert. It already has all of the wiring. It has all of the parts. It has all of the directions on how to clip and clip so that it all goes together as one. And then the actual cables are on top. So that's why you're going to need to make sure that you have what you need in order to get up. You'll need a ladder in order to reach that, because again, it's 74.8 inches high. So I'm pretty sure none of us are tall enough to reach the very tippity top. So make sure that you have something available sturdy to help yourself to reach the top, because the heaters plug in and the outlet cord, the main power plug, is on top. Okay. It does have a very sturdy glass door, and you are going to need a power tool. So if you don't have a power tool at home, now's a good time to get one with the holiday sales, and we can always use a power tool at home. So make sure if you don't have that power screwdriver, you're going to want one for this because it's so much easier. And that's what we show in our information. When it comes to installing all of these extra little pieces, it's just a little clip and go. Just takes a little rotation of a wrench or screwdriver, or a little pull of the trigger on the power tool, but really, really easy, guys, to put this together. It's wood. It's wood. There's no metal components. Again, it's Canadian hemlock wood. In Canada, the hemlocks are like, it's a very, very exclusive type of wood made specifically for saunas, and Canada is the optimal location to get it. And it has a special process in how it's manufactured so that it provides the wonderful benefits that goes in with how this is all put together. Now, where are they built? I'm just going to tell you, most every sauna manufacturer uses the Canadian hemlock wood, but the components are typically made in the countries overseas. Okay, I'm not going to give you, I don't know that I have the specifics, but I'm going to say, as with most everything that's made on the planet in the United States that we buy, most everything is kind of put together and updated in China. And so I'm not sure if that's exactly where his are made. I'm looking. But I will tell you, that's where mine was made because I did the research on that. And it goes through there's a lot of information, a lot of research on this out there if you choose to look into it. But it is in a very controlled environment because the Canadian hemlock and cedar has to be treated with love in order for it to not carry certain things back and forth from the source to where a lot of it is engineered and put together to where it comes back to us. So majority of the saunas that you're going to find in the United States are actually made they're assembled. I'm going to say the parts are put together and manufactured in China, but this wood is exclusively Canadian hemlock. Canada is the only place you can get it. And the only other type of wood that you can get this type of product is cedar. And cedar can be hit or miss for a lot of people because it has a strong smell. And a lot of people don't want their home to smell like cedar all the time. I actually chose the Canadian hemlock because I didn't want the smell of cedar and I didn't like how dark the cedar was. I like this light natural color and it's smooth. Like you don't have to worry about splinters. It's really, really smooth. So to answer your question as to where it's made, oh, there it is right there. Made in China. But the Canadian hemlock, it is exclusively a Canadian wood. So you don't have to worry about the Canadian hemlock being made in China. That's not how that works. So hopefully that answers that question. But all of the components, the cables, the carbon fiber heaters, that kind of stuff, that's all made and kind of all put together and packaged in China like everything else that we sell. So that is nothing new for us. And again, it is a 2-year limited warranty. So if you have any trouble with any of their product, any of how it works, there is a page here of troubleshooting. So if you have any errors or problems with your sauna, it's going to have a little flow chart here to follow through. I've had mine for like 6 years and I've not had a lick of problems with it. It turns itself off most of the time. It only uses the amount of electricity that you would require of a hairdryer. The EMF recording for this is near zero, as is ours, but you're going to have more EMF coming out of your phone. So if you're using a phone, you're using a computer, you're watching TV, you're using a microwave, you do not have to worry about the EMF on this because you're already surrounding yourself with a lot more, like way off the chart more. So Joel can get you guys the number on the EMF rating, but I do know that it's near zero. It's a very, very low number because most of the saunas nowadays made of the Canadian hemlock and that are the far infrared carbon fiber heaters are made with that really low level because the standard requires it. So there are organizations that certify these products and we are certified by 3. And so those organizations require minimum safety standards. And so you're going to find that all of our products are meeting the minimal obligations for those safety precautions, or they would not certify our product to be a healthy alternative to your lifestyle at home. So I like to make sure that that's made clear. And let me go back through here again, making sure I got all this covered. But there's your parts list. Again, 229 pounds worth. The sauna starts at 68 degrees, tops out at 149, which is 10 degrees hotter than what mine will go. 1 to 60 minutes, 4 carbon fiber heaters, okay? And when it comes to all the freebies that come with, you're getting you can see my control panel. No, you can't. No, you can. My control panel, it's just single-sided, so you can only use it on the inside. The one that you're getting with the RejuvaCure far infrared sauna, it's double paneled, so you can operate it on the outside, you can operate it on the inside. And you also have this lighted entry to make you feel like you're walking into this amazing sanctuary where you can relax and breathe and meditate. Barbara, awesome question. Do you take a cold shower after use? Absolutely. You can totally do that. In fact, one of the best things that you can do is you can do what's called dry brushing. And there's a lot of YouTube videos on how you can dry brush your lymphatic lines, your meridians. And you use your skin because your skin is a huge detox organ for us. And so you can dry brush or use your massage gun inside the sauna, heat up to whatever you feel comfortable with, hop out, go get in the shower. And usually because it heats you up from the inside out so well, when you get in the shower, you're going to go more warm water instead of hot water. And then you can flush and finish off with cold. So cryo and hot is combo therapy. And that's how the Turkish baths originated back in BC, back during the Roman Empire. That's like years and years ago, like several centuries ago. That's how they actually healed from disease and from the stress of the different battles that their soldiers went through. They would use Turkish baths, which were created as sanctuaries with extreme cold and extreme hot space, whether it's plunging into a cryo bath or plunging into a hot spring. And then they would meditate and pray in between. So it is really cool how all of that is coming back full circle centuries after it was originally founded way back when when Hippocrates was doing his research. So there's a lot of research about how the French would use the electrolytes and the ions of the seawater and the algae and the mud from the sea. And they also would soak in water and baths, cold and hot, but they relied more on the electrolytes from the seawater as well as the different minerals that were in the sea mud and the algae. So there's a lot of that has changed through the years. But if you go to some of these salons or spas and get the body mud, or you get the facial, or you're getting the hot cold showers, that's where all that started, was all the way back when Hippocrates was researching what is now considered modern medicine. He's the godfather of modern medicine. So it's pretty cool how it dates back so far. Okay, measurements. Again, one more time, we're going to go 35.5 square. So if you can just chop this right here, about right here at this door, 35.5 by 35.5 square by 75 up and down tall. If you have a spouse who is like 6 foot tall, they're going to be fine, because my husband's over 6 foot tall and he sits in here just fine. He just has to duck to get underneath the door. Can you do rolling instead of dry brushing? You can roll if you choose to, but here's what I want you to remember. You have a 30 foot by 30 foot square for yourself to chill. So you don't have a lot of space to really sprawl out. So I wouldn't be too active in there, because you're going to create more heat, and you want to be able to relax and allow your body to absorb that energy. So you can roll if you choose to. If you're familiar with the fascia blasting with Ashley Black, I started learning from her several years ago. That's actually one of the reasons why I bought my sauna, was to be able to do fascia blasting in my sauna. So, and I responded really well with that, but it's almost too much work to do all of it. So I like to go in and just sit and absorb the heat and meditate and just relax. because again, it heats you like a microwave from the inside of your body, as deep as your spine, all the way out. So it can penetrate easily 1.5 inch depth into the tissue. And when we can regenerate cells and detox and give our body the best opportunity to heal itself through natural energy, that's what this is all about. So dry brushing is a great way to support the body. It is a great way to stimulate our lymphatic system, to flush all the junk in our system. And so it's a great combination. Okay, let me go through one more time here. And so this is the picture of the front. And the freebies that you're getting, you're getting some bonus products. When you order this, you're going to get, let me just pull this on up here. This is tempered glass, okay? So super easy to clean. I usually clean mine with a, Windex or with a nice, now they've got the glass cleaning cloths that you just use water and then you just wipe and then it's streak free. So it has like silver particles that are antibacterial based in the fibers. So I use a lot of that stuff. But anyhow, that's the sauna that we're selling. This is the RejuvaCure far infrared sauna. The freebies that are going to come along with it is you're going to get a free towel holder. You're going to get a water bottle holder. It has the dual side control panel here. You're getting free oxygen ionizer. That's the little white thing up there in the corner. You're going to get free Bluetooth speakers. That's what mine are, but mine are not Bluetooth because mine's a dinosaur. It's old. So it just has an auxiliary. How many things? You can't even put an auxiliary cord in there, right? So when I listen to the speakers, I can't listen to the speakers. I usually will bring my Bose speaker and just sit it on the table, or I just don't listen to anything at all. I just listen to silence because silence is very, very healing sometimes. So you're going to get the chromotherapy light. So you're seeing the light bulb changing in the background, 7 different colors. Yours comes free. It's got the towel holder and then the wooden backrest. So it comes with a wooden backrest. Mine's a little different, but yours is going to be very, very similar. The towel holder hangs right inside the door. And then I believe those are all the main things. So, and again, non-toxic glue. So when they're using glue, they're not using a type of glue with all these different little components that you're going to find inside of here. They're not using a glue with a lot of chemical in order to keep it put together. It's non-toxic glue, which goes along with the holistic concept, the organic idea of using this type of biohacking to heal without causing more stress on your body. So hopefully that helps that. Okay, now again, you need 2 of you to assemble, and my sauna is on carpet. So you can use it on whatever you want to. Mine is indoors, and it has been in a tighter space than it's in right now. But if you make sure that it's indoors, if you use it outdoors, it needs to have some kind of a shelter around it because it can't get wet. You do not want your wood to get wet because there's no way to, once the wood gets wet, it's really hard to maintain. When it comes to cleaning your sauna, you don't have to use a chemical or a wipe on the inside. You can see I laid the white towels down there. If you can get yourself a yoga towel or a microfiber towel, those absorb a lot of sweat. So when I have 3 or 4 different people that are using it the same day, back to back, I will put a microfiber towel in there to absorb all of the sweat while they're sitting. And then I give them a separate small hand towel to wipe themselves off if they want to, so they can continue to detox. And then, of course, a bottle of water. And then when it comes to disinfecting it in between, I just turn the energy up as high as it'll go. Mine goes up to 140. The RejuvaCure will go up to 149. Turn it up and crank it for about 45 minutes to an hour, and it bakes everything in there. So antibacterial, antifungal, and then you got the oxygen ionizer, which dissipates and cleanses the air, so you don't have to spray anything. Don't spray anything or use anything, any kind of chemical on the inside. When you first get it, if you want to take a towel and use a wood-based furniture cleaner, I use the Method wood cleaner. I will wipe it down on the outside just to wipe all of the dust off of it from travel, and so that it's clean in my home. And then I don't have to do much anymore after that. So I don't use many chemicals on it because it is a natural wood, so it takes care of itself. It has a 9-foot power cord that comes through the ceiling panel, and you'll have to have someplace close to plug that in. When it comes to plugging it in, I believe we figured it out that it has a standard 3-prong 110 volt plug-in, so you don't have to have an electrician come out and wire your home for a special outlet. When it comes to turning it on, you're going to turn on the power switch, which is push button. Let me go here to the control panel. Now, for my oxygen ionizer, you're going to see the green light is on up there, and it'll let me know if the green light is not on, it's not working and needs replaced. Mine was $150. Yours is free. So, when it comes to the control panel, it has a power button. You can take your USB and port in there to be able to listen to whatever music you want to. If you want to save music in an MP3, you can just plug it in there and play directly from your USB drive. It has the time, it has the increase, decrease temperature buttons, and then it does have a music button. So if you're playing from your flash drive, it has the light chromotherapy. Mine actually has a remote because the chromotherapy bulb does not come with mine standard. So there is a remote that comes with mine that you can't operate the light without this. So it's very convenient that they have offered it into the control panel, because that is one huge disadvantage that I have, that I wish mine was different. But again, mine is more of a dinosaur. Steve Rogers, I am not sure exactly what that is. Let me see if I can find it as I'm scrolling through here, and I'll try and answer that. When it comes to turning the machine or the unit on, when you push the power button on and you set your temperature, it only takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes for it to reach that temperature, even all the way up to 149. So a lot of times what I'll do is when I get ready to use it, I'll go in and turn it on and turn it up to as high as I want it to max out. And then I'll go back and get my towel and my water and whatever I'm going to read or my music. And then I'll go back in and it's ready to go. And then when it's done, mine automatically turns itself off. I don't know what this one does because I've not used the Lifepro RejuvaCure yet. But mine automatically kicks itself off. And then when it comes to when I'm done, it automatically turns itself off, and then it dissipates the heat pretty fast. So you don't have to worry about it overheating. The other question, this hasn't come up yet, I don't think, because I haven't seen it. When mine is on at 140 degrees, again, yours goes to 149. When mine is on at high level, the room does not get hot with it. So what I mean is, you're in a bubble. And when you're inside the bubble, then the cold air outside the bubble does not creep in unless you have a vent that opens up. And the hot air in the bubble does not leak out. So unless you like set it to do that. So if it has a vent that is adjustable, mine has these little plastic vents that you can pop open or close, so that you can leak air out. You can always open the door, okay? You can always open the door to let more air out, but it doesn't make the room that it's in hotter by running. So if you are worried about it being more hot in a space where there are other members of your family that don't want to be in that space, you don't have to worry about it creating more heat that's uncomfortable with others. So that hopefully that helps that. Let's see. Now, right here, I'll just say this. When it says preparing to use your sauna, it says to take a shower or bath before using the sauna to open up your pores and remove any makeup. So I don't have any makeup on right now. If you have been dirty, sweaty, gnarly, nasty, and you don't want to go in with all that on because you're already covered in it, then if you want to freshen up and take a quick rinse before you get in it, if you go to a spa or a gym, you have to because it's more of disease control. And then it opens your pores, and then the bath or the shower will raise your body temperature and promote perspiration. But again, if you choose to just hop in it and then take a warm, cold shower after, you can do that. There's no right or wrong as to which way you go. I get in it to relax and to get started for my day, but I also use it to be able to wind down at the end of the day and to flush toxins. Because I have fibromyalgia in the middle of winter, which is when I use it a lot. I haven't used it lately because it's been so nice out. But when it's really cold and it's starting to get there, I'm in it way more often, and I get in it in the morning when I wake up in the morning stiff because I have fibromyalgia. So what you can do is you can get in there for 10 or 15 minutes and then have a vibration platform sitting right outside, come out of it, get on the vibration platform on a low to moderate level, and let the vibrational energy continue to flush you out. That's like the ultimate detox. And if you do the dry brushing with the long bristle brush, the skin brush, while you're in it, then when you get on the platform, that's a whole different level. And then if you are stinky and you need to go to work, then you hop in the shower, flush it, chill water if you choose to. You will not see me taking a cold shower anytime soon. That's my kid and my husband like to do that, but not me. But you get in it and off you go. If you have hip or knee replacements, you're going to be fine. It's not going to hurt you by being in it. You just have to make sure that the temperature is at a decent level. But I know a lot of clients, I have a lot of clients who have artificial hips and knees and shoulders, and we're not going to create an electrical volt or shock with your hardware. However, because you do have hardware and because we are heating from the inside out, you're not going to fry your tissue without realizing it, if you will. So you don't have to worry about causing harm. Just make sure that because of scar tissue, temperature does not regulate very well through scar tissue. So make sure that you lower your level of temperature to get used to it, and make sure that you are following your body language and what you feel, and noticing changes that are happening so that you don't do too much too fast, if that makes sense. Francis, I would check with your doc and see if they approve of you since you've had your lymph nodes removed. I'm sure that you'll be fine in using it, but I would make sure and check with your doctor first. But most people are going to have no trouble with compromised lymphatic system as long as you keep the temperature at a lower level, because you can't regulate the same way. But it's an easy way to flush. Titanium plating in the spine, you should be fine. I've had quite a few clients that have got rods in their spine from scoliosis that get in, and they do just fine. So, but I would check with your physician to make sure on some of those things. Okay, let me go back through here to the very end. But yeah, you guys have got a really good opportunity for a really nice unit. Yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, now I've been talking for a long time, and my whistle needs to be wet a little bit. And my family is home on a Friday night during the holidays. My mom flew into town from Arizona, so I am going to go hang out and live with my family because that's what we have time for right now. I want you to remember what's really nice when you're when you have time alone, or when you have time to take care of you. What you're going to listen to on the podcast with Todd Durkin in the Impact Show about biohacking to an optimal you. For those of you who don't have some of this expensive technology at home, technology is technology, right? But if we are not embracing what's going on between the ears, then it doesn't matter what technology you have. You cannot biohack into your system if you're not willing to use what's between your ears to the greater good. And so what I mean by that is our thoughts and our mindset. And so one of the easiest hacks that you can use for feeling better and for help eliminating pain is your mind. So I want you, while you're sitting in your sauna, when you get it, or if you have quiet time in your space, and I want you to think of these questions. I ask these questions every night to my daughter when I'm getting ready to tuck her in, on the nights I get to tuck her in. And it goes a little something like this. What are you most proud of today? So, for instance, today is December the 9th, and I went to see my accountant to talk about the end of the year taxation, because I run my own business. And I am about 2 months ahead of schedule in getting all of my accounting done so that I'm ready for taxes on January 1st when I go to start processing all that information. So I'm really proud of myself for having all of my information put together. That's what makes me proud of today. What is most memorable of today? I get to share my sauna, and yesterday a new podcast was released. And I was on Fox 59 News in Indianapolis 2 days ago. And so what's most memorable about today is that all of these different biohack media opportunities are happening through the grace of God in all these different moments without preparation. And so I'm going to be most memorable of today of being able to share some of these biohacks and just all these different things with all of you. So thank you for that opportunity. When it comes to an act of kindness that I have experienced or that I've been able to do for somebody else today, let me think about this. My husband took me out for lunch, and I don't get to do that very often. So he knew that I had to be here before he had to be here. So he went in and he ordered me a sandwich and he brought it out to my car, and I drove home and ate my sandwich and thought, man, that was really nice of him, because I might have not stopped on my own. But he went in so I wouldn't have to get out of my car, and he brought it out to me. So love him for that. Another act of kindness. My daughter is 12 and she loves plants. And I have a green thumb, but I don't have a green thumb for house plants. My green thumb is for outdoor plants. And because it's cold, my daughter absolutely thrives with plants. And so she bought, I took her to this flower shop, this plant shop, that has anything and everything plants, and she insisted on me putting a prayer plant in my treatment room. So I told her, I said, I'm really not good at taking care of houseplants. And she said, but Mom, that's what I'm good at. So you get the prayer plant and I will take care of it. Well, we went on vacation and my prayer plant was not happy. So when I got home, its leaves were yellow. And so I said, hey Zoe, my prayer plant is turning yellow. What's wrong? She's like, oh Mom, that's it. The soil, it's not happy with its soil. I will come over to your treatment room and get your plant, and I'll bring it home and I'll take care of it. So she did that last night. And so I walked in the door to see her today, and I asked her how her day was. And she said, my day is great, but I want you to know, I've investigated your plant, and your plant is actually very healthy, and I'm continuing to take care of it. So that's my 12-year-old. And I just love that, because how many 12-year-olds care, right? And she is happy being able to help my prayer plant. So that's what makes me happy. When it comes to where have I failed today, so I ask her, where have you failed today? And today, how did I fail today? I failed today in that I did not get enough sleep last night. I was up until about 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning, which is not good for me. Don't do that very often. But I did not keep up on some of my record keeping, so I had to cram it all in at the last minute. And so that's where I have failed. But the beauty of that is I learn from failure, which means I'm continuing to grow in my life. And so what have I learned? I have learned that if I stay up late past midnight, then my body hurts something fierce, because I have fibromyalgia and my body can't heal. And our body heals most effectively between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. with whatever part of the region you're in. So, and it's all based on circadian rhythm. That's how our hormones and our pituitary gland release. And mine totally got trashed last night. So my hormones are hungover. They're unhappy with me. So I'm just going to say that I got my paperwork done, but the lesson that I've learned is if I'm willing to settle with the consequence of feeling not so good, and I'm going to have to get on my vibration platform 2 or 3 times more today than I normally do, and I'm going to have to lay in the sauna a little longer today than I normally do in order for my body to snap back to right. So that is how I am going to fix my failure for the day, is biohack forward with all this awesome technology. What is the funniest thing that you all have witnessed or that I have witnessed today? And I'm trying to think, what is something funny that I've witnessed today? My dog. My dog is really funny. She was not very happy with my other puppy dog from the neighbor that came over and was wanting a little bit of love. And so my dog just has a great personality, and it was really funny watching her respond to this puppy that was so craving her attention. And she just put up her tail like it's like, talk to the hand. So I think my dog is really funny, but the two of them get along. And so watching dogs is just fun because dogs were created for us to enjoy. And so the funny part of my day is watching the dog. But again, I got to see the dog, so that's part of it, embracing what's going on around you. And then so 3 goals and 3 things of gratitude. 3 things of gratitude. Number 1, I got new tires put on my car yesterday because my car, it was at 48,000 miles and it needed new tires. So another act of kindness, my husband took it to the shop yesterday to get the tires put on it because I did not have time since I was healing other people. And so I'm grateful for transportation with good tires getting ready to start into winter. Number 2, this is going to sound funny, I'm really grateful for a laser printer that is AirPrint, Bluetooth, because I just bought my other printer, finally gave up on me after like 5 years, and so I had to go buy another printer, and this one you don't have to plug it in, you can just click on the phone and print, and then poof, it just happens. So I'm thankful for that because I was able to print out the manual to be able to talk to all of you, and I didn't have to go to a 30-minute drive to print, and I didn't have to have my husband bring it home. So that's 2 forms of gratitude. Number 3, I am thankful that I get to go and decorate my Christmas tree tonight with my daughter because normally in years past I have my tree decorated like the 3rd week of November, sometimes the 2nd week of November, and here we are into December the 9th, and my Christmas tree is not decorated. The other thing that I'm grateful for, many of you, I'm going to tell you, many of you have seen that I work with Lucas Grounds, and he is the young man who's paralyzed, and he is a 7-time national champion in motorbike racing. And I wanted to share this with some of you because you got to see Lucas on one of our episodes with how we're using the whole body vibration technology and massage guns to help him to walk again. They gave him a 3% chance of being able to feel anything below his belly button. And so I want to share with you some really cool things that have happened around Thanksgiving because this is not normal, my friends. This is not normal. But the doctors pretty much told him 3% chance that he would be able to do anything with his body below the waist or feel. And he is doing some really, really cool stuff. So I'm going to show you this because if you got a chance to meet Lucas, he is one of the most extraordinary young guys I've ever met. He is 17 years old. He broke his back 2 years ago tomorrow. He is a 7-time national champion in motorsports, professional motorsports. So he actually had signed a professional contract to race right before he broke his back. And so today, my friends, he is in a truck on a trailer headed over to race a race car tomorrow. That's what he's doing for the anniversary of this 2-year accident. And so I want to show you what happened it was 2 weeks ago while I was out of town. They sent me a video and they said, because of you and because of what Lifepro has done and because you took a chance and were willing to help our son, they gave him a 3% chance of being able to walk again, and he's going to be able to accept his high school diploma without a wheelchair. And that's because he's been on a Lifepro platform like every day, and we're using red light technology, we're using infrared lights, we're using acupuncture, we're using my hands, we're using the massage guns, he has compression boots, and he's paralyzed and he's walking. So it's really cool. This is him using our vibration platform this last week. Okay, so that's him standing on the rhythm. And he's using leg braces so that his knees don't buckle. And again, a 3% chance that he was going to ever be able to do that. And we knocked it out of the park 6 months ago. He was 1.5 years out when I started working on him. He will be 2 years tomorrow is the date of his accident in which he broke his back at T12, but he didn't rupture the spinal cord. So he is able to feel energy. There he is, vibrating away, proud, and I got to experience a standing hug for the first time in working with him. And I've been working with him every week 3 hours per day. So we meet every single week. I call it Lucas Thursdays are my Thursday. I get to see him every Thursday from 12 to 3. And it's just such an awesome opportunity to be able to work with him. But this right here, this is the cool part. So there's his spine. There's his fracture. Broke his back. He's got titanium rods. He's fused. And this, my friends, that is what he did just a few weeks ago. He's back on that professional race bike, jumping hills. And he's doing it with his legs and his arms and his back. And the doctors gave him a 3% chance that he would be able to do anything below his belly button. And Lifepro is part of his regular routine. That is him using his body on a race bike, going faster than I would ever try. And I have got good working legs. Now, I think that is just such a miraculous thing. And that's right before he goes out. And that's him on his bike. Like, isn't that crazy? And that's what Lifepro has been able to do for him. And that's what other technology has been able to do for him, because the doctors gave up on him. The doctor said, you don't need your legs. You're paralyzed. So we're not going to give you anything for your legs. Actually sent him to one of the best doctors in the state of Indiana, and he turned him down. He said, I cannot see you. And it really angers me because I believed in him more than that. And so we just have continued to work without that doctor. But we have the grace of some other doctors who are willing to help us. And he doesn't give up at all. He is doing some really, really cool things. So I'm really, really excited for him. But Lucas is an amazing young man. And want to show you what... So I talked about scars. That was his back when I first met him. And that's 1.5 years after his spinal fusion, 1.5 years after. And nobody would work on him because the doctor said, well, there's only a 3% chance you're going to be able to use anything below your belly button, so why do you need your legs? And I said, we're going to make it happen, because I had to learn to walk again from 8 spinal injuries, and the doctors told me the same thing, and I told them to go pound sand. So here I am, pain-free, feeling great, doing the unthinkable, and I did it the same way I'm doing it to him. I'm not curing him. I'm giving him the optimal environment to heal itself. There's his scars now. So you see the cupping. The scar is not available for most of you to see with the human eye. He is 17 years old, and tomorrow is the 2-year anniversary of him breaking his back. And he's been amazing. Now, he had a moment, he had a setback, that's his thigh, in which he tore a muscle doing some physical therapy. And so there we are. That's the thigh. And I documented the swelling to be able to help him. And what I love about him, he's using our Lifepro Access boots. And that clarified that lymphatic process, that detox and that bruising, that circulation. We put those boots on him, and he used them every night. And he went and raced 4 days later. No bruising. So the technology, my friends, the technology is real, and it does work. And sometimes what doctors tell us not to do is really sometimes what our body needs. We just have to be willing to do what we're okay with trying. So I can't tell you to try certain things, because that's not how I think Lifepro wants me to teach you all. But he's doing that. And I think what's really special is, again, his 2-year accident. So we have to have fun together. So we always have fun. We're always having fun with Amber. Therapy with Amber is always fun. What's really special is he is out changing the world, doing his own thing. And there's no research, there's no documented case of what he's dealing with. And so we are just trying anything and everything and just seeing how he responds, and he's responding. So the doctors don't have all the answers. I love doctors. I do. I love both sides of the world. But it is through all this technology that we're able to come together and try some different things. So I'm grateful for Lucas. I got into a long-winded conversation, but I'm grateful for Lucas. I'm grateful for Lifepro for giving us the opportunity to try this technology, to try and get different things. And I'm grateful for all of you. So I am going to go spend time with my daughter and wet my whistle and decorate my Christmas tree. So I want you to all have a wonderful holiday weekend. And I will look forward to talking with you all next week. I think I'm scheduled next week to go live to visit with all you next week. So have a most wonderful evening, and love you all so much. And thank you so much for giving your time to Lifepro and for allowing us to change your world. Peace out and have a wonderful night.